Hello and welcome to episode 8 of 10 for 10. I am your host. One of your hosts, at least. Am
Hi.
I even a host?
No.
Whose life am I leading right now?
Stop.
Who am I?
Stop.
All right, I'm Dan. This is
Jess.
And today we are joined by...
Avery.
Hi, Avery. Welcome to the show. This is a late edition. We weren't planning to have you here, but it's always welcome.
She
to have a
surprised
friend.
me.
This is
Baby.
10 for 10, a podcast hosted by myself and
Me.
the beautiful Jess, and also the beautiful Avery this week,
Mario.
where one of us will compose a list of sorts, ranking things that we really like or are
It's
knowledgeable
usually
about.
a list of
Knowledgeable
10.
about. Usually
but-
a list of 10, but today we are taking a different approach.
Last week
with
we
it.
did a longer one too.
That is true. We're just screwing the form, I guess. So this week we have 18 entries. It's going to be our longest list yet at episode 8 already.
Buckle up, kiddos.
Already ruining the setup of the show.
You didn't know that?
And
I don't want to be
It's
here.
your bedtime.
okay.
Avery can't stay. She has a bedtime that she has to get to.
All right. Avery, want to tell us a bit about yourself? Like while you're here, like what are you doing with your life right now?
I'm in New York right now and in college, and that's all you need to know. Just kidding. I like to hang out with my friends, Dan and Jess. They're my only friends.
Ever.
Yes.
Call out.
She likes
Damn.
to
Damn.
dance.
Just
She
kidding.
likes
They're not
to
my
act.
only friends, but yes, I'm
likes
in
to
musical theater,
sing.
and I want to be on Broadway.
You
So
sound like Miranda sings.
maybe I'll give you a little taste later.
I think that was enough of a taste.
Yeah, I know.
A little too much.
All right. Well, today's episode, in order to celebrate the release of Avengers Infinity War, and also to I was just checking something, don't worry. And also to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh my
It's
God, what a
the
beautiful
universe that
birthday.
raised us, really, after Harry Potter.
I was going to say Harry Potter did that for me.
Not for me.
I'm going to rank all 18 entries in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
And I got a lot of opinions.
Yep, and over the last couple weeks and months, I've actually been watching every single one in chronological order in order to prepare
Like one a week. It's
Yeah,
not
prepare,
like he spent a weekend watching all.
for Infinity War. I did chronologically, so
How
I
many
started with
hours
Captain
is
America,
that?
actually. 36 or so?
It
Yeah.
seems
18
like it should
times
be
2.
more. They've been getting longer and longer as they go. So
That's 40-odd hours. A work week. So
a
it's actually-
work week.
A work week, yeah.
This is work.
You gotta work.
So to start it out, this actually just came up on my feed on Facebook while we were preparing for the episode. So Jess, this is your Infinity War character birthstone.
How does it?
from
How is
the
it
great
deciding it?
BuzzFeed.
How does it
by
decide
month.
what my birthday? Okay,
Okay, so Jess is for September. Groot.
great. Now they know when I was born.
Groot.
Groot.
Okay.
I thought I was getting
Avery?
a stone, not a person.
Yeah, your character.
Oh.
Character
Oh my
birthstone.
God.
Avery, your birth month.
May? You don't know when my
Are you serious?
I got you your birthday present in March, by the way, so
For the
fake
people,
friend. Fake friend.
Black Widow. And for me, for June, I get
Murdering people.
the golden boy himself, Captain America.
Oh my God.
Hey, I get
of
Groot.
course.
I'm technically I
You
made our
fucks with
friend
Groot.
meme cry in theaters.
Yeah, that was fun. We'll talk about that later. I won't tell you what number,
If
but
I'm
we'll talk
Groot,
about
then
it.
then
Wait, so
then I made someone
Captain
cry.
America was first,
Chronologically, but it was
Like
actually
in
the
the
last
comics or
movie.
something?
Well, yeah, actually,
Even
he
though
was
he didn't-
one of the first Marvel
Yeah.
characters.
And his movie wasn't
didn't
before
his
like
movie
Iron
come
Man
out, like,
stuff, but
2014?
his took
2011.
place
Oh, shit.
years
Oh,
before.
okay,
Yeah, it
okay.
takes place in the
Okay, I
40s.
thought you meant
Susan-
chronologically, like by
Susan-
the movie me.
Yeah, so I
He was
did
trying to
Captain
fight
America,
Hitler.
then Iron Man,
As we all should.
Oh, yes, yes.
then like
Yeah, okay.
All right, so
Okay, okay.
let's start it out.
Number
Let's-
8.
Let's just jump into it.
Oh,
Shout
God.
out. Congrats, Jack and Aaron.
Corbin Blue, is that you?
Well, but that's making fun of Philip DeFranco
Yeah, I know.
as well.
But congrats, Jack and Aaron, on
Jack
getting
and
married. Jack's films and his fiance, they're getting married this weekend. And he already posted
Oh yeah,
that,
today
that they're
is
not dating anymore.
4/21.
Because they are married.
Oh, I
my
was
God.
like, why would you say congrats then? You're so rude.
Avery
Okay.
tries.
Number 18. Oh, before
Can
we
I
get
guess,
into it,
actually?
before we get into it, this week's theme, I guess, has to kind of be Iron Man by Black Sabbath. I Am Iron Man. Like,
It doesn't have to be. Anyway,
Anyway,
can I guess what your 18th one is?
And I was just going to go over my, like, kind of methodology
Okay,
for
but
ranking.
first, can I guess?
Can I say this before?
But I want to guess.
Okay. Before we start ranking, my methodology is kind of impact and then quality as well. Of the
Yeah.
So impact on the universe itself, how important and relevant it is, and then the quality of the movie.
To this universe
As well.
or
To the MCU. Well, and also, I guess,
the
to
MCU?
the Marvel Cinematic
Oh, okay,
Universe.
cool. Sorry.
She's trying real hard.
Yeah, Avery,
sorry.
I don't think has seen all of these.
I only just saw
I
Hulk.
probably.
Yeah,
I only just saw the Hulk movie for the first time. You were with us,
Incredible
weren't you?
Hulk.
I saw that movie.
I know, were you
a
with us
while
when we just
ago.
watched
Yeah,
it?
I've probably seen a lot of them.
She's a no.
Okay.
So, number 18, Jess, do you want to guess?
I think it's Thor the Dark World.
You are correct. Thor the Dark World.
Because Thor, I love you, but that movie...
Phase.
Mm-mm.
It is a
Haven't seen
Phase
the
2
Thor.
movie. Came out in 2013, November 2013, directed by Alan Taylor, who directed 12 episodes of Game of Thrones. That's like more
What
than a full
seasons?
season. Just
like
periodically,
random?
yeah,
Damn, good job,
sporadically.
kid.
And also Terminator Genesis. So,
I didn't see that.
Uh,
I've seen the first 3
Is he hit or
Terminators,
miss?
that's it.
Yeah. Really, the reason... I'll get into the cons, but I'll just go through my pros first. The Captain America cameo. It's my favorite part of the movie, and it's about 30
Loki,
seconds long.
turns himself into Captain America.
Yeah.
And is
For
like,
once.
America, patriotism.
Yeah.
And is making fun of him.
It is a great exploration of Thor and Loki's relationship, which I thought was pretty cool. Does a good job evoking emotion after Frigga's death and Loki's perceived death.
By
as
the
well.
way, so many spoilers.
Yeah, spoiler alert, blanket spoiler alert for the whole
Sorry,
MCU
Avery.
now.
Oh, I don't.
the ones that you
not
haven't
really.
This will get you caught up before Infinity
Yeah.
War.
Yeah.
And so there are some funny things and creative, but like kind of forgettable final battle.
Yeah. I feel bad because I really love Christopher Eccleston.
Yeah, I'll get into that in a
He
second.
was given a shit.
The
villain.
final battle was like cool on
was?
paper, like using portals to like jump around between the different dimensions while they fight each other and they go to like Jotunheim and whatever.
I honestly don't remember.
Yeah. But it's just kind of lackluster. So cons, honestly, the biggest like crime this film commits is just how like forgettable and boring it is. Like honestly, I don't think it is the worst made
It's just
in terms of like just quality as a
considering
film.
how
but
the
it's
first
just-
one was very good, so to be
Eh.
followed up by something so shit.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's just so poorly made, and movies like this are very dangerous when it comes to
Ooh, dangerous.
like
Wow.
superhero films and like universes where they're not terrible like the DCEU, like noticeably bad. They're just okay
That's DC
and like
Comics. Okay.
middling, and these kinds of movies can just
It's just it's very forgettable.
yeah, like if companies make movies like this, that's the death of film right there.
Oh.
That you can make a ton
Wow.
of bad movies, but at least like bad movies are kind of entertaining with how
Because
bad
they're
they
funny.
are. This movie, I dreaded it in my rewatch.
I love movies that
I
are
was
so
like, I
bad that you can
don't
laugh at them.
want to watch this movie
No.
at all.
No. But shout out Kat Dennings, you were still a gem.
She's all right, yeah.
She's a gem.
So cons, you already mentioned it. It has, in my opinion, the worst MCU villain at
Yeah,
all.
which sucks
of all.
because
It's
they had a
complete
great
waste of
actor,
Chris
but he was
Eccleston.
given a shit role to play. He's the 9th Doctor from Doctor.
Oh, how would I know that?
Who?
It also straight up like it doesn't stand on its own. You need to see
The first
the
one.
other movies
Yeah.
before you can watch this, and I think that a good shared universe movie,
You can watch it and not have seen
informs
literally anything else.
the other movies and
That's like with like
builds-
Star Wars. Force Awakens.
Star
you
Wars
could
is
have
not
not
a shared
seen-
universe.
What?
Star Wars is not a shared universe.
It's
It's
not?
a franchise. Those are
Oh, well.
sequential movies.
But
One
still,
after the
I'm saying
other.
like you didn't need to see the other 6 to understand what was happening.
Yeah, that's
in that
because it was a
one.
reboot as well.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was just
Yeah, it was a
sequels.
soft reboot.
I feel like
That
if
was
it's a
on
sequel.
purpose.
Can it be a reboot? Even?
Yeah,
I feel like there was such a big time space
Yeah,
between
but
them
still-
that they
okay,
had
fine.
to kind of
So it was a
reboot it
soft
to be
reboot.
like to
Fine.
remind
Sequel.
people,
Fine.
even though no one forgot.
But
Forget.
We never forget.
they
forget.
good ones. I was saying good entries inform and build on the universe, but this one, like, you have to see the Avengers and you have to see the first Thor to understand anything that's going on.
And, like, Jane never returns after this.
Yeah, it's just forgettable, boring, and has a chemistry-less main relationship. Like, they don't go well together. So
I do love Natalie Portman, but I'm sorry, honey.
in lieu of fun facts for each movie, I'm going to list off the Stan Lee cameo and whether or not it has an Infinity Stone in it. So the Stan Lee cameo in this one is as a mental ward patient, and it does have an Infinity
it's
Stone.
Red, right?
Yep, it's the Reality Stone, which is red. That's really the only reason this movie exists. Is the Aether.
I only know what Aether is
to-
because I watched the show Haven from Sci-Fi, and Aether is a thing in that.
Okay.
That's why I know how to
is to
pronounce
just
it. Shout out Kaylee.
establish the Reality Stone. That's like the only reason to watch this.
Shut up, Avery.
If you're doing a rewatch, you kind of have to watch this one just for the Reality Stone, which is kind of upsetting. That's the only reason why I didn't skip it. All right, on to number 17. It is a Phase 1 film, came out in 2008. The Incredible Hulk.
Oh.
Directed
I
by...
enjoyed
video
that,
game.
honestly.
Like the video game. Yeah.
I mean, I only saw it,
Well,
like 2 months ago?
let me give my reasons
Okay.
first.
I like Eddie Nort.
Directed by Louis Leterrier, who also directed Now You See Me and The Transporter.
I've seen Now You See Me, but I haven't seen The Transporter.
I've seen The
and Now You
Transporter
See Me
too
is
many
so good.
times.
Have you
I've
seen Dan Harmon, the creator of Rick and Morty and Community? He goes on this rant about how
Because I don't watch
they had
either of those shows.
the perfect opportunity to name the Now You See Me sequel Now You Don't, but they just called
my
it Now You
God.
See Me 2.
They coulda.
And
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Oh my god.
it's like, why
Wow,
didn't
wait,
they
that's
do
actually,
that?
like, kind of making me sad.
I feel
Exactly.
like that's too cheesy.
That is
though.
a missed opportunity.
I feel like I would look at that and be like, I'm
When you
not
have
going to
that
watch it just to
opportunity-
spite you.
Okay, so
But
let
I
me
feel
go.
like there would be people that are like, oh, so like they're not like this, like it's not a sequel because obviously it doesn't have 2 in the name.
Or people
Well,
look at it and go
movies
like,
didn't
oh,
do that.
Should have been
Until
2 now to see me.
too big.
Until The
Too
Godfather.
Fast and Furious.
The Godfather Part 2 was really like the first sequel to introduce numbering
Sequels? Oh, okay.
to a sequel. All other sequels usually just had just a different title. They were the
Even,
first
like,
ones with Godfather Part 2.
On demand right
Great
now, they
Godfather.
have all the Harry Potter poster, like when like you're looking at it, it has year 1, year 2, and all in case people get confused. And I'm like, okay.
All right, so some pros for The Incredible Hulk. As you said, Edward Norton as Bruce Banner is really good. But apparently he was kind of difficult to work with, and he just wasn't into the whole
I don't know much
franchise thing. And Liv Tyler as Betty was also good. They had like a pretty solid relationship with one another.
Liv Tyler, she's one of those actresses where like I like her, but sometimes I'm just like, stop.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, you know?
There are some
driven.
pretty
She's
memorable.
like how who feels that way about Anne Hathaway.
A lot of people
A lot of
just
people.
inexplicably dislike them.
And I don't get it.
I heard she's a stone cold bitch.
No, but I
Okay,
mean, like,
well.
people
And
are
her
like,
nipples stuck out the one time.
No, but people are like, oh, like we love her movies, but her, and I'm like, I'm so confused. 'Cause that's
She's
how
a good
feel.
actress. It
Because
doesn't
like
make her a
Liv
good
Tyler,
person,
like
right?
I love.
I saw
movies
Anne
that she's
Hathaway in
but-
real life. She
Oh
came to
my
my
God.
college campus
Yeah, and
to
you
tell
took a
us to
picture
all
from like
vote.
50 feet away.
Yeah, to vote for Hillary Clinton.
Well,
That's
Sad
awkward.
times.
All
All right, so Eddie Norton
so,
is hard to work with.
it has some memorable action set pieces, like the college campus fight. Like that's a good one where he just kicks the dude across like into a fucking tree. It's hardcore.
I like that they like would put up like the how many hours it's been since.
Yeah, that was cool.
since he turned green.
And actually, this movie was supposed to open with him
always angry.
trying to kill himself, like when what he describes in the Avengers. He goes
But
to
he
like the
spit
center
the
of
bullet out.
Antarctica, so he's like distant from everything else, and he has a gun, and then it just like cuts to
Because
like
he knew that it would
the
piss the
tundra,
Hulk off.
and you just hear the gunshot, and then a second later it's the Hulk like roaring. So
Yeah.
oh my god, that's so sad.
I know he mentions that in the
The Hulk
Avengers.
is like, bitch, you ain't killing us.
Emil Blonsky, played by Tim Roth, is an absolute mad lad. As a villain.
Is that
Mad
Liv
Man.
Tyler's dad in it?
No,
No?
that's Thunderbolt Ross. This is the guy who turns into the Abomination at the end. Like,
Oh, that
snowman.
bitch.
and he's still alive in the universe. so they can
Where
bring
he
him
at?
back at any time.
Where is he?
Oh, is he
I don't know.
that guy that looked like the giant lizard or like the
Yeah, he had like the spines coming out of his back. Yeah, that's him.
like a swimmer?
Yum.
Did he have like web? Could he swim? I thought he was like a deformed Aquaman.
If he knew
type
how to
thing.
swim before, I'm sure he could swim as his
Shut.
And and also, this movie shows the detrimental effect that the Hulk had on Bruce Banner's life, like with how he had to live in the middle of
But guys, just don't
Rio.
forget.
or
He's
Sao
always
Paulo,
angry.
I think, Brazil.
Wait, another con. It was a great video game. You could throw people into
Con?
trees.
You mean pro?
I mean, another pro. Oh, God.
I
there
was
was
like,
a,
I
they
love
made
the
it,
video game.
Yeah, the
they
video
made
game
an
was so
Incredible
much
Hulk
fun.
video game. I didn't know.
Yeah, I got to climb
And Avery,
buildings, and I
she's
didn't
a
have to
real
follow the
gamer girl.
missions. I didn't have to follow the missions, so I just like threw trucks and cars.
Avery's what you could call a gamer girl.
Shut
Yeah,
your
she-
mouth. Yeah, I dabble.
I dribbled the ball.
Some cons. There is some really bad CGI in this movie.
yeah.
But I like
And it
the way
actually
that the
looks-
Hulk looks in that a
It
little
looks
bit more.
like a video game. For some reason,
Yeah.
his like
video
hair
game is
grows
pretty
when
good,
he
though.
turns into the
Yeah.
Hulk. Though it's weird.
Because the Hulk.
Because everything grows, so the hair's got to
Ooh.
grow.
Oh! When you say everything, do you mean his belly button?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So, and another con is that it's kind of inconsequential to the grand scheme. They set up the leader, who is one of the Hulk's biggest villains, and he hasn't come back. Doc Samson, and like the never-ending relationship between Betty and Bruce.
Good old bets.
And also the Abomination. It's never come back. The only thing we've seen is Thunderbolt Ross.
They probably
in Civil
changed
War.
so much because they had to recast for.
And it also breaks the MCU.
But Mark Ruffalo was then. Oh, what a dream!
In a way,
what a dreamboat.
because Martin Starr is in this movie as well as in Spider-Man: Homecoming as Peter's teacher, but in this movie he's like a random grad student on the college campus who like is being interviewed.
Who's the one that plays Blue or whatever? That like wants to.
Yeah, I don't remember his name.
I remember though.
He's
like,
the
we
leader.
recognize-
That's what his name is in the comics. He's called the leader.
You continue. I'm gonna look
So
this up.
the Stan Lee cameo is the man who drinks Bruce Banner's blood soda accidentally. And there's no Infinity Stone
blood
in this one
soda.
because it was a Phase 1 movie.
So could he be the Hulk too now?
No, it just kills him.
Oh,
So-
what the? That's so unfair. Oh my God, it represents AIDS. Good.
That's a stretch.
You know, anything involving blood and
if
dying.
anything
I
were
just,
to represent like the response to AIDS and like gay people, it's actually the X-Men.
But no,
They
I
purposefully
like
did that.
Oh, what? Yeah, cool. You'll explain that
And how
later. I'm
people are, like,
sure one of
afraid of
those
them.
movies is
Oh,
on. here.
Ty
They're
Burrell
on
was
the
in
MCU.
it.
What?
Oh,
I didn't
Ty
know.
Burrell was in it.
Doc
He's-
Samson.
Yeah, he's Betty's boyfriend, and then
Oh, yeah,
he's
that
like,
makes
"Don't worry, I get it. You're super in love with Bruce. I'm not gonna stand in your way."
Yeah.
I was like, "Ty Burrell, oh, you go be on Modern Family."
He's a comic character.
Lou Ferrigno?
Yeah,
He's a security guard,
he's a
isn't it?
security guard.
Who was
All right.
that? I'm sorry. No,
I'm gonna keep going. All right, number 16. Another Phase 1 film came out in 2010. Oh, it was Tim Blake Nelson who played the leader.
Sorry.
2010, Iron Man 2, directed by John
Van Forston.
Favreau.
Came out in 2010?
Yeah, I saw this at a preview showing a day before it came out. So, I don't mean to flex on anybody.
Oh, my God.
Because my best
Did he
friend's
really just say
dad
that?
bought an Audi, and because Audi...
An Audi? What?
An innie or an Audi?
Okay, I'm trying to tell my fucking story here.
Go on.
He bought an Audi, and because Audi sponsored this movie, they got like free tickets to like a special Audi
Was their
people
car
event.
featured?
No.
Well, then why the fuck was...
I don't know. It was just like come buy more cars from us. Jess has changed her hair.
I've
Now she has.
undone my buns.
She's got the pigtails. She's looking like a 12-year-old.
Undone.
That's illegal
Ew.
then.
Okay.
What's going on right here?
You have been
Good lover.
stopped. All right. Pros to Iron Man 2. Robert Downey Jr.'s reprisal of Tony Stark holds up over the movies. Like, he proved it wasn't like a one-trick pony kind
I
of
know
deal.
a pro that's going to be in this.
Sam fucking Rockwell.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is
Love him.
fantastic in this movie. He plays
And
Justin Hammer.
We have a friend who knows him.
He was his PA for the movie The Way Back.
Yeah.
So,
a PA?
shout out. Personal
Personal
assistant.
assistant?
Oh. Oh my
Basically, he
God.
got
So-
whatever Sam Rockwell wanted, and now he's an
cool.
Oscar-winning
And
actor.
Yeah, and we can be like, we know someone who worked for him.
Another one is the Monaco race scene. I think that's a really, really good action sequence that is
yeah.
still fun to watch today.
That's when he has like his like.
Yeah, his
thingies.
cool and the
whip,
suitcase
that's what it's
Iron
called.
Man suit is awesome.
But isn't that when Happy gets hurt? No, that's not.
That's
when Happy gets
Iron
hurt.
Man 3. There's a secret Spider-Man cameo, which is fun.
Oh yeah, well,
that's like a little
at the
boy.
time, do you think that's what was planned, or it was like until somebody asked in an interview and they're like, "Yep, that was Peter, that was him, totally."
When was this supposed to take place?
2000. It's set in like 2008, 2009 because the Avengers takes place in 2009, and this is before the Avengers. This is like a couple weeks before the Avengers is set.
Yeah.
So was Peter supposed to be a little boy?
Yeah, he'd be like, he would be this kid's age, and he definitely.
He's only like 16, so think about it. That was
the homecoming one, not the other ones.
No,
so he would be like 6 or
okay.
7 at that time.
Oh, okay.
It makes sense. It does.
Right.
Weird.
The AC/DC soundtrack is good. There's a lot of AC/DC in there, and also has a good introduction to War Machine.
I fucking love Brody.
And some good comedy there.
Brody is great.
With like the ex-wife. And also that one scene where
The ex-wife?
Iron Man and War Machine are fighting a bunch of the drones in that botanical garden.
Oh, yeah.
And like the music cuts out and it's just like the sounds of them like shooting. That's awesome.
Avery, were you okay?
Yeah.
Are you all right?
Oh, no, yeah. I was just looking at the...
You getting distracted?
No, yeah. I was like
She's
doing
looking
that.
at
Super
Let's
secret
go.
recording studio.
She's looking at a Legend of Korra poster.
All right,
Yeah, I gotta
so
continue watching that.
cons. We're only at number 16, guys, so we gotta keep going.
Okay.
Cons. There is far too much world building and setup for the Avengers. It kind of wastes Mickey Rourke because he's a shit villain as Whiplash.
Hey, he's got a bird.
It couldn't stand up to like the heights of the first film,
But you could watch it as a standalone.
Yeah, and the final fight is just against Iron Man clones. It's not very interesting. And Tony Stark's dad like invented a new element decades earlier that just happens to be the perfect thing that Tony needs at that time
He's psychic.
to heal himself
Daddy.
and make a better arc reactor.
No,
Are
honey.
you fucking kidding me right now?
Dan,
Ugh.
coincidences, you know?
All right.
That's
Daddy
like
issues.
in Amazing Spider-Man 2 that only Peter could have
Amazing
been bitten
Spider-Man
by
2
the
is
spider.
a shithouse film, so I don't get why you're
Only
trying to
Peter.
defend this with that.
I'm not. But I'm saying it's like that type of situation where it's like, oh,
He's the chosen
no,
Yeah, no, that's the
no.
worst part because the whole point of Spider-Man is
it
that
could
it
be
can be
anyone.
anybody.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, you have to be Peter. You have to be a Parker.
Otherwise, you're gonna die or turn into a Green Goblin.
Hey, Dane DeHaan though pulled it off. He pulled off that look.
Stan Lee shows up as Larry King in this movie, and there is no Infinity Stone. Number 15, Thor, Phase 1, 2010,
Just
directed
Thor,
by
okay.
Kenneth Branagh. Pros.
Gilderoy Lockhart.
It introduced the world to a couple lads by the name of Chris Hemsworth and Tom Hiddleston.
I mean, they were around before.
Yeah, but neither of them were particularly famous.
I thought Tom Hiddleston was.
Nope.
Chris
in
Hemsworth probably
England, at
wasn't
least.
as
much.
Did he
No,
do stage shows?
Yeah, but it was like they took a gamble on casting these two because they were basically
Well, and he
completely
auditioned
unknown.
for
They were
Thor, and they were like,
Yep.
oh, but we got this blonde
That was a
hunk of
fun
meat
fact
over
I
here.
had. Is Tom Hiddleston initially auditioned to play Thor.
And Liam Hemsworth was also in like the top 5 running for Thor. Brother versus
Awkward.
brother.
I'm glad it's Chris. He's better.
Yeah,
Than
and he's
Liam.
larger.
Liam.
Well, no, and then Liam got to be in the Hunger Games, and he was
Got to be the
Gale.
worst character
The
in the
worst
Hunger
character,
Games.
but he still got to
Woo.
do it. Got to do it.
So it also has like a nice
He had to
epic
do it to him.
imagining of Asgard. Like it gave it like a really nice aesthetic to Asgard's
Very
look.
beautiful.
So thank you, Kenneth Branagh, for signing off on that one. And it's like
and you know who else we got? I'm so sorry.
Heimdall.
Yes.
Idris Elba.
My golden-eyed beauty.
It's also like and Sif
Yes. Oh,
and Anthony Hopkins as Odin is great.
not as fabulous in that one, but, you know.
When he just like growls at him at that one part where they're arguing,
Honestly, I haven't seen the first Thor movie in the longest
like-
time. But
Thor's
I do
like,
remember
"Father,"
that.
and then he's like, "Arr!"
Were the people who liked the
Shuts him
growl
down.
at the end of Beauty and the Beast the people who liked
Okay.
that too?
You have been stopped as well.
You've never seen that?
It has a solid score, which I really wish they kept. And they actually brought back in Thor Ragnarok his
Yeah, they
theme.
gave him a theme, but then
and then they
stopped.
forgot about it for a couple movies, and they brought it back
And
finally.
they're like, oh, Thor, you have music?
Thor goes through a really good arc in his first film. There's a surprise Hawkeye. And for some reason, he like... during his introduction, you see him like go for like a sniper rifle, and then he like stops and thinks for a second, and then grabs the bow instead.
And then
And I'm
everyone's like, baby.
Why would he do that?
So
like
this
the bow
movie
is his
should
thing.
be higher because it has Hawkeye in it. The other
Okay.
ones definitely shouldn't because not enough Hawkeye.
Well, I feel like he was like a sniper rifle should do the job.
Yeah,
Not
but
enough
I mean,
Hawkeye.
but like he's always done arrows his whole life. Why would he suddenly be like?
Was that the first? That was the
Maybe
first
he
one
was
that he
going
was
through
in,
an
right?
existential
Yeah, it
thing.
was his first. It was his introduction.
And that's
also,
when I fell in love with him.
Loki is one of the best MCU villains as well.
Yeah, but then they constantly made him a villain, and it was like, all right, let's take a step back.
Some
There's
cons,
other villains.
unfortunately, it's a bit boring and kind of forgettable. It takes a while to like. There's like too much
I forget
down.
Thor exists.
There's
Stuff
like too much
happens.
downtime and not enough Thoring. And again, Thor and Jane, no good.
But we get Kat Dennings.
Kat Dennings is a
and our
good-looking
boy, Bootstrap Bill Turner.
woman. So
He's in it.
he's in the Avengers too.
Yeah, but he's in
And
Thor.
Thor: The Dark World.
This is when we
And he's,
first
like,
get
crazy.
him, I'm saying.
Okay.
So let's. What the fuck is his name? Skarsgård.
And he also
What is
appears.
his name? Help me.
It's Stellan
no,
Skarsgård.
Stellan.
It's
It's
his dad.
their dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He also appears in my number 14 pick from 2015, a Phase 2 film,
Avengers.
Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron.
Yeah. Directed by Joss Whedon.
That honestly wasn't a thing.
So let me
Not
go through
enough
some
Hawkeye.
pros.
Even though he was.
Vision and Wanda
Yes.
are introduced very well, as is Pietro, but we'll get back to him. And they're like pretty interesting
Peter,
characters,
Wanda's
all
brother.
of them.
Quicksilver.
It's Pietro.
Okay.
I love him. I love
But
him.
I think I'm just used to in X-Men movies they call him Peter.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, his name's Peter, and then I was like, shit. No. Well, yes, it was
Whoa.
played by
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
I walked into school and I was like, I saw boobs on the internet.
And my friends were like, whoa.
What?
Why did you
No
just
way.
think of that?
I don't know. So there's some good action scenes, specifically like the Hulkbuster scene. That's great.
Yeah.
And when they're defending the church at the center of the Sokovia, I guess.
Yeah.
The whole
Sokovia.
country. I don't know. Center of
Yeah,
the city.
and the line that they kept saying that, I bet you didn't see that coming or whatever.
Oh, I watched this.
yeah.
Yeah.
remember.
Because of that line.
Did you see it
No,
in
they
the-
were surrounding
did you see it in the movie
like
theater
in a
with us?
temple or something.
Yeah, and then it like does that awesome.
No,
like,
I think I saw it on TV.
that slow-mo in
Yeah.
there where
I saw
everyone's
it
like
on
doing
TV.
something cool and then Cap is just like twirling
in the air.
like you ballerina.
It has that really good scene. I actually
Someone
forgot
shot
to write
like
this
red
down.
lasers or something.
That's Wanda.
Yeah.
She's like moves
Yeah, she, like-
matter and like
yeah.
shit and
There's a really good scene between Wanda and Hawkeye in like the building, and he's
Of
like,
course
if you walk
there
out that door, you're an Avenger.
Doesn't the whole like
That's
city
fantastic.
like rise?
Yeah.
Okay,
and
cool.
His
cool.
plan is to
wild.
pick up the city and then shoot it back at the Earth
To
and
cause,
wipe
like-
out everybody.
Why don't we just move Bikini Bottom somewhere else? That's what I thought. Just pick it up and move it somewhere else.
this is why you're
Why
here.
Ultron was like, why don't we pick up Sokovia and move it somewhere else? It was really good to
They
see the
actually
Avengers.
do it to Bikini Bottom though, so like
Back
proud of them.
It's good to see the Avengers back together. They have a good group dynamic. Specifically, I think of like the hammer scene when they're all trying to pick up
Oh, yeah.
Thor's hammer.
And
then
for Captain America, it like flinches like a little bit.
I think that
and
he
Thor's
actually
face
was
is like-
able to pick it up, but
yeah.
he didn't want to bruise Thor's ego.
But
so
then he was
stopped.
like, "Oh no, shit, stay."
And I remember the first time I saw it in theaters in Vision's introduction theme when they when
Did we see this together?
yeah, when he's like, I know you have no reason to trust me, but we need to get
Oh.
going. And he picks up the hammer and like
Yeah,
hands
and
it
just
to
hands
Thor.
it.
The whole theater just audibly gasped.
Yeah, and then they're like, "All right,
It
that's
was-
a reason to trust him. He's worthy of that." So,
Vision.
Vision, he was
He's the
Jarvis.
purple man. Do you
Purple
think he's
flies.
purple or do you think he's red?
Oh,
He's a purple man. Yeah.
he was all like
Yeah.
all okay. I was like, who is
There's an
he?
argument
And then
on
he
the
gives himself,
internet
and then
as
he
to
gives
whether
himself a cape.
he is purple or he is
No,
red.
Ultron was making him,
Is the
He was
to
making
be-
himself a new
yeah.
suit, a new body out of vibranium.
and then Thor like
puts the Mind Stone in it and
Yeah.
brings it back to life, yeah.
and then he like shocks him with some
Oh yeah, he dies, right? Or he did? I thought he died.
Ultron.
Ultron
Oh,
does.
sorry.
No, Jarvis. I keep saying Jarvis because it's Jarvis's voice.
AI, yeah.
That's what they like.
So
to use.
continuing, it has a lasting effect on the universe.
Okay.
So, I mean,
Oh,
with
yeah, it
like the
does.
Sokovia,
The
Stark's
consequences
guilt.
of
Yeah. Keeps going. James Spader's Ultron is pretty good. He does the best that he can and has a way better Captain America uniform than the first Avengers movie.
Yeah, the first Avengers movie, that uniform, I was like, I could poke you with a butter knife.
He's a patriotic
and it would just
egg.
go right through.
That's what he is.
He's a fucking Dorito.
The secret is the ears. Because his ears are covered in the first one, and it just looks so dumb because his head looks like an egg then.
He doesn't need a helmet.
Didn't they have things at the end? Little wings?
No, that's
they've
Thor.
never done that, actually.
They gave Thor his helmet
They
once.
could have done that to make him...
In his introduction.
Cool.
Yeah, and then
Thor.
it was like, oh, we don't like that.
Yeah.
And then in Thor Ragnarok, he kind of got one back.
So let's go to the cons. Quicksilver is killed off way too fucking fast. They should have kept him on. I know that Aaron Taylor Johnson didn't want to be in a franchise, but they just should have cast someone else who wanted to be. It's
honestly
such a waste.
Because Quicksilver's such
of
a good
really
character.
a really good character. He's the only speedster
And he was
we've
still
seen.
so ripped from doing Kick-Ass. He just stayed that ripped, and I was like, good job, honey.
He's like a speedster. It's fun. That's like a different power
His
set
hair
than
is
anybody
silver.
else.
And it's like you have siblings. It's like a fun duo.
Yeah.
Because he's one.
Well,
twin.
they can sometimes get a little bit too fun with one another, and that's happened
in the comics?
In the Ultimate Universe.
Game of Thrones.
No!
Specifically, it was
Ew!
no good.
Ew! But I
ship
mean
it.
because of like the
Just kidding, I
sibling
mean-
dynamic between like Thor and Loki. But then it would be like nice to see like, oh, siblings that actually get along.
Yeah, I
And
can't
aren't
remember
trying
if
to
it's
kill each
Marvel
other.
Max.
Well, they get
or-
along a little.
Let's not talk about that.
Very well.
They're actually Magneto's children.
Yeah. I can't remember if it's
Just
Marvel
like the
Max or the
magnets.
Ultimate Universe where that happens, but also in that one, the Blob, the villain from the X-Men, eats the Wasp, like from Ant-Man and the
Why?
Wasp, because he's to kill her, because he's a bad guy.
But he's blobby.
Yeah, he eats her,
He's blobby.
and like you like see her like foot like coming out of like hanging out of his mouth, and it's fucked up.
He's like, I don't know.
And then
I'm gonna finish that up.
Then I think Ant-Man kills him, or
Good
Wolverine
for
kills him. I
Ant-Man.
don't know. The Black Widow-Hulk relationship is fucking horse shit.
And they gave Hawkeye a family, and I'm like, of course I want him to be happy, but
Yep, I have Hawkeye's family here.
but
was
it
dumb.
wasn't necessary. But it was a nice like surprise.
And if anybody was going to be in a relationship with Black Widow, it would
it was
be
Hawkeye, but I love
And
their
then after Hawkeye,
Yeah.
fucking
No.
Captain America would be the next logical
Yeah.
person. I heard
Not-
a rumor that they're going to be together at the beginning of Infinity War, so maybe that's going to be.
but not Bruce.
Yeah, it just
I love you, Bruce, so much, but
It was so
you and
fucking
Natasha, and like I hated how they were like, oh, she understands how he feels because he's angry all the time because he has to be this, but then she's like, well,
I'm
was
a monster because I can't have kids.
Yeah, I'm a monster because they like
Took
my
my
uterus out so I can't have kids. So that made her a monster, and I'm like, no, bitch.
That made her Black Widow or whatever?
Yeah,
like
but
you
that was
had
like her
to like do that
initiation or whatever.
so that like you wouldn't. It's like because if you have kids, then you're gonna prioritize them.
Yeah.
But like she thought she was a monster because she didn't have kids, and I'm like, a lot of people can't have kids.
A lot of people don't want to have kids,
Calm
too.
the fuck down, Natasha.
We keep getting too sidetracked on
Okay.
the movies.
Sorry.
One more time.
Ultron could have been better. He was kind of just like a whiny teenager.
But I like that he used Pinocchio references.
I don't know if they intentionally are making it so that each villain in the Avengers movie is like a different stage of life. Like Loki was like a pissed off little kid. Ultron was like an angsty teenager, and then Thanos is like a daddy.
No. Ew. No. Ew. He's a large purple raisin.
There was like a little bit too much Whedon-ness to
you were
this
gonna say
movie.
weed, and I was
Joss
like,
Whedon-ness specifically. Like,
Yeah, because Joss Whedon is kind of a piece of shit.
yeah. Stan Lee's cameo is as a World War II vet. And there is an Infinity Stone in this one. It's the Mind Stone. It's yellow. And it goes into Vision's forehead.
Lelo. And where did it come out of? Are we getting into that later?
Spine.
No. It's in the middle?
Yeah, we'll get to that
Okay.
later. Number 13, Phase 2, 2013, Iron Man 3. 2013 was not a good year for MCU.
I thought
The
that was
only
a
movies
very
were
good movie. Are you okay?
Were Iron Man 3 and Thor the Dark World. So it's directed
Avery's
by...
like fading in
No,
and out
I
of
literally was
consciousness.
leaning back. I was moving my head, goddammit.
But you keep like, ooh.
So it's directed
I'm
by
gonna
Shane
pass out,
Black,
like, what?
who also like created Lethal Weapon, directed like The Nice Guys. So he has a really good rep, and also Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. I like this movie more than other people.
I like it.
I just don't think
I
it's
didn't even know there was a
better
third one.
than the rest of the movies on
He's
here.
like really, he has like PTSD in it, and people are like, good. Okay, sorry.
sorry.
So it's well paced.
I think he's
There are
used to
not,
that.
yeah, there are not too many lulls in it. It has a well written dialogue and a nice like buddy cop feel between Rhodey and Iron Man. I think it works
Play
like
between him and the kid.
really well. It's like really well.
Avery remembers now.
Yeah. Really well done relationship between those two. It's a good exploration of Tony's psyche and his relationships with other people. As you're saying, it's a pretty good depiction of his like PTSD and anxiety disorders that he gets after
from the first
almost
Avengers,
dying in space. Yeah, that
and,
one
like,
time.
the world's kind of being on his shoulders.
Yeah, and just like the constant threat now.
But it was really like he had like panic attacks throughout it, and people were like, "Oh shit, we getting real Iron Man."
Tony and Harley, that's the little kid, were so cute. All the suits were really, really cool to see, like all the different variations and for what they were designed
what
for.
What he does in his free time.
Yeah.
I like it when he's like in the van and the guy just opens it up. And he
he's like a huge fan.
He has a tattoo of Tony. Looks nothing like him.
There was more Jon Favreau is happy, which is always good.
Yes.
And it has one of the greater scores / themes throughout the whole series. They were considering killing him off, but didn't.
And I like it because after like the Avengers, it didn't really seem like you could do standalone movies without having at least like 2 other Avengers be in it. But it was like, it did it.
Rhodey's in it.
Yeah, I know, but like Rhodey was more just part of Iron Man still at that point. He wasn't technically like an Avenger yet.
Oh yeah, he becomes one at the end of the Avengers Age of Ultron. I forgot.
So it was nice to see that you could still have like a standalone one without it being complete shit.
Yeah, another.
No offense to any of the others.
We'll go on to the cons now. Even though I actually didn't mind it as much, but the Mandarin being kind of wasted and like
Ben Kingsley being wasted.
Yeah, like that. He is Iron Man's like Green Goblin, like his Joker.
Really?
Like he is his biggest enemy.
Then that was kind of a waste.
And they've been setting him up since the first movie with like the 10 rings. Those are the people who capture him. And the 10 rings are what the Mandarin has. He wears 10 rings, 5 on each hand.
I get that.
And each one is
fingers.
like a power ring specifically, like kind of.
Okay, then he was definitely wasted.
Even though I find it funny and I totally get the stylistic choice, but also that was what's Guy Pearce who plays the real villain?
The real
that
Mandarin?
was his idea, and he suggested it to Shane Black before they started shooting.
Ben Kingsley be like a fake
villain,
and
like Shane Black liked it and rewrote it.
Just watching the guy who played Gandhi be this like drunken actor.
He is really good either way. And apparently maybe the Mandarin is real. Oh, yeah. So like there's a one shot that came out on like a DVD, I think for Thor, The Dark World, where it's him in Trevor Slattery's in jail and then like he gets a message from like the real Mandarin. So maybe he is really out there. Another con is like the miraculous medicine. That's just super Deus Ex Machina. It's like, I can get all the shrapnel out of my chest, and I can totally fix you, Pepper Potts. You don't have to have this weird. Even though, like, what? Yeah. Let her keep it. Give her some superpowers. Yeah. She's gonna be in constant threat.
She got violent.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it does make you violent. I forgot that. Never mind.
It makes you very violent, so maybe not.
And there's no real lasting effect on the universe, so it's kind of skippable. No. Like, he's like, I'm going to blow up all my suits and not be Iron Man anymore. And then 2 years later, he's like, I'm going to be Iron Man again.
Yeah. That's why I said it's a standalone movie. Like, it's good for that.
All right, so Stan Lee makes an appearance as the beauty pageant judge.
Yeah.
And there's no Infinity Stone in this one. Number 12.
Well, that was a nice one.
Thank you. Phase 3 film came out in the year of our Lord, 2017.
Who's our Lord?
James Gunn.
Okay.
Because it's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Oh, okay. No. I was like, wait, I'm so confused.
The year of our Lord, Jessica, the big man in the sky, God himself.
GG. What's good?
Go.
You never seen that?
GG.
So
real quick, somebody made a vine and they're like, all right, I'm gonna pray to Jesus. GG. What's good?
Hey, what's up, man?
Oh, God.
All right, so since it's a Guardians of the Galaxy movie, the soundtrack is really good, obviously. Kurt Russell as Ego is one of the better MCU villains.
That's a zaddy.
Okay. You are being stopped. You cannot.
Wait, is this volume 2 or 1?
2.
One will obviously be higher up in the list.
Yeah.
Everyone turns in solid performances all around, specifically Michael Rooker in his last turn as Yondu. Rest in peace.
And my boy Sean Gunn. We're actually besties, so I have a signed picture of him holding a cat, and me and Kaylee got to talk to him for like 10 minutes at Comic-Con because he wasn't very busy at the time. And we were like, buddy, buddy.
Wow.
And he loves Philadelphia and Jenkintown's area.
Oh my God.
Guys,
I made a
Famous.
friend.
They're famous.
We made a friend.
All right,
You're 1
let's
degree
get back
away from
to the important stuff.
Oh, shit.
It is
Where we live.
visually appealing, like it's really bright.
Especially
Specific-
the
the
funeral scene.
funeral at the end, yep. There are entertaining
Fireworks.
action sequences. Mostly any involving Rocket are good. Like the one
Obviously.
of him and Yondu tearing up the
You know why?
spaceship. The one of him attacking all the Ravagers in the forest.
Oh, that was cool.
You know why Rocket is so great?
Because he's
Bradley
smart.
Cooper voices him, and Bradley Cooper is from where we live.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Okay.
Face.
You live here too.
And then like the
wouldn't
end
know.
fight is really interesting. Cool to see. Like with the giant Pac-Man. That was
And
funny.
Gamora is just excellent. Her and Groot, it's like a mama and a baby.
Yeah.
It was so cute.
Baby Groot was good. And
dance at the
it
beginning.
has the best Stanley cameo, in my opinion, as the Watcher informant.
Yeah.
A lot of people had theorized that he had something to do with the Watchers, and that's why he keeps showing up.
Would you
But
like
also-
to explain the Watchers?
The Watchers watch.
They're just
everything
like
in the universe. They
beings
don't
that
talk.
Just, they just
They
chill
just
and they watch
watch.
TV of us.
No, they just watch us.
I know.
Do they
And there's-
say anything after they watch?
No,
They
they
just
don't
do
talk.
it.
That's
They just
the thing. They
observe.
don't talk. They just watch. And there was actually a big thing in the
Yeah.
Marvel universe when Uatu, the Watcher, who is the Watcher for Earth 616, which is the main universe, was murdered. So it's like, who killed him?
Stanley.
Probably. Cons. It did not live up to the hype of the
No.
first film. or
but
first
I didn't
film.
expect it to because the first one was too good.
The first one was lightning in a bottle. That's why it's lower on the list than this one. There's
I've
like
never heard you use that phrase
a
before.
little bit too much going on in this one. Like there's a lot of characters to keep track of.
Yeah.
Like they handled it well in the first one because there's only 5. What?
So you keep making like
I'm
noise by slapping
hitting the-
that
Table.
ASMR.
Table hit ASMR.
kind of hand bone.
And like the other villains kind of fall flat. Like
Yeah.
Taserface and Aisha. There are
Taserface.
3 villains in this movie.
Taserface was funny.
Easy.
Yeah, but like
You tell them it's
eh.
from Taserface and they're like, what?
and there is no Infinity Stone in this one.
That's okay. They had a
And-
fucking like, they had a world. They didn't need an Infinity Stone
Yeah.
to ego the planet, right?
Yeah.
What was it called? What is
He's
it
a
again?
celestial.
That's the word. But it's
He's
kind
one
of
of the
sad though
ancient
that
ones.
Peter doesn't have his celestial side anymore.
Yeah, but I mean, it would have come at a pretty big cost, so
True.
it shows how good of a person he is, how much he's grown.
Oh,
Doesn't matter anymore these days.
But I don't know, if he did that, then Thanos would have probably not been able to take over the universe, so.
Yeah.
Idiot.
Fuck you, Peter Quill.
Okay, number 11. Phase 3, 2016, Doctor Strange, directed by Scott Derrickson, who also directed Sinister. Yeah. So this one is
That
like
movie
kind
didn't
of
need
like
a sequel.
creepy.
That's all I have to say about Sinister.
Or this one is like
I didn't even watch
objectively the
Sinister.
creepiest movie.
It's good. It didn't need a
Doctor
sequel.
Strange.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix.
Pros. Yeah, I just watched it yesterday.
You know what else
I,
is on Netflix?
I don't know if I should watch it.
Boss Baby.
And Boss Baby the series.
And
Yes.
Despicable Me 3.
Yes! Yes!
Well, I haven't
Despicable
watched
3.
it because the kids don't
My
watch
friend whispered it in my ear during class, and I was like, how do you know that was exactly what I wanted to hear?
They should have called it Despicable 3. No, you don't. So let's go through the pros. Benedict
Despicable Me.
Cumberbatch is really good as Doctor Strange. I was really on the fence about him, but he did well.
careful.
I wanted Oscar Isaac to be Doctor Strange really badly.
No, because he's doing really well with Star Wars.
Yeah.
Benedict Cucumber.
I want him
Could
to be
have
able
been
to have
better.
some downtime.
Also, Wong and Mordo are good.
Mhm. Oh, that was great.
Mads Mikkelsen.
Isn't Mordo like going to be bad though?
Oh, he's in
He is a
Hannibal.
villain, yeah. Yeah, Hannibal is the villain as Caecilius.
Classic.
He's entertaining. Not necessarily good, but entertaining. It has a noise score. Like it has like a
Noise.
theme song that sticks with you.
And it just really works. The whole name sounds like Rachel McAdams.
Sounds like Star
Rachel
Wars.
McAdams.
Babe.
Yeah.
What a babe.
that
It's got some really, really good visuals. Specifically the scene where he goes like through space and time when he's first introduced, and all those little hands come out of his
thinks he's high
hand, and then
as
those
fuck.
little hands have little hands coming out of their
And then they
hands.
have little hands.
Like hands
Yeah.
wearing tiny hands on the fingers.
but they just keep going and going.
And then all those little hands have little hands, little hands.
You know what the portals remind me of? Like in Big Hero 6 when they open the giant portal. That's what
Stop.
it
Can we have an
reminded me
episode where we just talk about Big Hero 6 and have 20 of the best things about it?
I think the finale subverts expectations of just having him talk to the villain and kind of outwit the villain that way instead of having to fight him. He outsmarts him, which is very true to the
Turning
character.
back time. If I could turn back time.
And it's also just like an easy and entertaining watch. Like, it's just good to like stick on.
But
Cons.
second
Yes.
you leave, you honestly can't remember most of what just happened.
I watched it yesterday, and I can tell you what happened.
I know, but like,
And it was my
I think it was like 3
third
weeks
time
later,
watching it,
somebody,
okay?
I think like my brother and my brother-in-law asked me if I had seen it, and I was like, yeah, and they're like, was it good? And I was like, I think it was. They're like what, like, happens in it? And I was like, I don't fucking know. I don't remember.
That's all I know.
Yeah, there's a really good scene where he gets stabbed, and he goes into his astral form to help Rachel McAdams fix himself, and then he fights that one dude.
Yeah, but it's still like,
Yeah.
what's
Cons.
going on?
Boring villains. Dormammu is one of like the greater villains in the Marvel comics, and he doesn't translate very well.
It had a Tilda,
There could have been
right, in it?
Tilda Swinton.
Yeah. Sorry, I
There
just
could have
remembered
been
that.
more like crazy spells like in the comics. Like it's not just weird flamey whips. It's like he actually like
Hey,
does like crazy
Who
shit.
doesn't like a flame?
And he'll usually say like the name of the spell that he's using because he
Oh.
has to, like Harry Potter.
Hey,
He
maybe
has
he
to say
learned
the
how to
name
do it like
beforehand.
non-verbally.
Yeah, like that's maybe the thing.
Fire whip,
There's,
go!
as you mentioned, Tilda Swinton's in it, so I had the whitewashing of the ancient one.
Yeah.
And the fact that they moved it from Tibet so that the movie would do well in China.
But like the ancient one shouldn't have been.
A
I like
white
you, Tilda
woman.
Swinton, but
Like anything,
honey.
it could have just been a Tibetan woman if they wanted to make it a woman.
yeah.
Yeah, Sierra Bogus is playing Maria in the new West Side Story, and everyone's like, why? She's white.
Oh,
like,
shit, like
get
the-
a Latino
Wait,
woman to do
seriously?
it. Yeah.
In the Steven Spielberg movie?
Yes.
I
Oh,
hadn't
no,
heard
like
about
in
that.
concert. No, in the movie, maybe. I don't know, but people
No,
are
she's
pissed.
too old to play her in the movie.
Okay,
She's
then
supposed to
it's
be
not in the
teenage.
movie.
Still.
Yeah, like, why? Okay, sorry.
Okay.
I
Um,
just-
Thank
just,
you.
like,
And there
It's
is
relevant.
too much bathos, which is a word I
You say
learned
too many baths.
from the YouTuber Just Right on a video he did on this.
What does that
this
mean?
movie? That's the bad kind of trend in Marvel movies where you have a really great moment happening, like a really epic thing, and then it's just completely undercut by a joke.
Yeah, that's what Marvel does.
It happens, but they shouldn't.
Oh,
you
yeah,
mean
I
a
know.
great thing, like a great
Because,
line.
Like I love
Like
when
a
people
great
recreate
moment.
like
Like in the-
trailers
like
to
in-
be Marvel trailers, and
in-
it always ends with like a one-liner.
In this movie, like when he finally accepts his role as a Sorcerer Supreme, he puts on the cape.
Cape, and
He's
then
like
the cape,
standing
yeah.
in front of like the mirror, and he's like, "This is
Oh.
badass." The music is like
Yeah.
jamming, and then the cape just starts to wipe his tears away and like get in his face. It's like,
Yeah.
stop it. And then they also do it in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 when they all come together,
And then-
it's like really badass. It's kind of reminiscent of
name?
the Avengers coming together, and then
Mantis.
something hits Mantis.
And knocks her out.
But it doesn't happen in all Marvel movies. They do allow these
but
moments
they
to happen.
do it.
And the comparison that he makes is the scene in Spider-Man 2 when he gets his powers back, and the scene in Wonder Woman, the No Man's Land scene. Like these scenes where they allow themselves to
That
have
scene
an emotion.
made me feel.
I didn't watch Wonder Woman.
People do this like defensively because they don't want people to call the movie cheesy.
Yeah.
So they make fun of the moment themselves. And
They don't need
it just
to.
doesn't work out. Have faith
But
in your
no,
film.
but-
Stan Lee appears in this movie as a man on a bus reading the book The Doors of Perception, and it does have an Infinity Stone. It is the Time Stone,
Is that what
which
he
is
wears around his
green.
neck?
Yes, that's in the eye of Agamotto. So.
Wonder what he does with the time stone.
If I could turn back time.
I already sang that song and you said stop.
I said stop.
She said stop.
Oh, I'm
Stop.
sorry.
You have been stopped.
It's all come back.
I'm so confused.
What?
And also, like,
What was that?
you guys brought it back on me. I've been saying it the whole time.
Oh, well, I've been saying that all day.
And you made me the glue and you the rubber. bounced back.
Oh my god, what is
Are
going
we in
on?
7th grade right now? I'm really confused.
All right.
And stones.
We're finally into the top 10.
Oh my god.
Only an hour in. Okay.
Okay.
Number 10. Phase 3 film came out in 2015.
Ant-Man.
It is Ant-Man.
Oh!
Yeah.
I love that movie. That's a good movie.
Directed by Peyton
I'm
Reed.
sitting here going, what the fuck movie came out?
I was like,
Paul
it's gotta
Rudd.
be on.
It's the
Because
last
Paul
movie
Rudd.
of the Phase 2.
What a
I don't know what you mean by
what a
phase
guy.
2, phase 3.
Okay,
but
there are 3 phases. So phase 1 ended with the
Probably should have
Avengers.
explained that in the beginning.
Phase 2 ended with this movie. And then phase 3 is ending with Infinity War.
like, how do they decide which phase?
Yeah.
Usually a major
far
event
apart
will
the movie-
happen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like, and also the movies within the phase
Do they
will
kind
have
of
some
end
kind
them
of like
with-
common theme to
and I
them.
feel like they kind of end with an Avengers movie.
Yeah, I thought that phase 2 ended with Age of Ultron and that Ant-Man was the first phase 3, but apparently that's not what happened.
But that's a lie.
Yeah, so phase 1 was like almost entirely origin films, and then coming together as the Avengers.
Okay.
Phase 2 was continuing.
Is Ant-Man in the Avengers?
No.
Oh.
Oh yeah, he isn't officially an Avenger
This
yet.
will be his first one. Mhm.
He is so
Well,
cool.
'cause
No,
If he
I mean
shows
in the
up.
new one.
He's only been in 2 movies.
Oh yeah, he's going to be in the new one,
Okay.
should be.
He's only been in 2
That's
movies.
so cool. The ants, they were so cool.
Fucking ants, right?
Sorry, keep going.
All right, so pros, Michael Pena specifically
Oh.
is great. Paul
great
Rudd, Evangeline
God.
Lilly, and Michael Douglas are all
Paul Rudd.
fantastic actors.
Paul Rudd.
It's like a solid heist film. Works well on its own. You don't need to see any of the other Marvel movies
Literally
to
none.
understand it.
Good villain.
There are very creative visuals with the idea of like the shrinking. I think the shrinking is done really, really well.
Yeah.
And like the microscopic.
I like how he
I
uses
like
the other
it.
ants too, and they all just march.
And I like it when he tries to jump
Ants
through
go
the
marching.
keyhole and just keeps
Why didn't he
fucking up.
sing that in the fucking movie?
Because that'd be
Missed
way too
opportunity.
stupid.
One of the
Way
kids that
too
I watch,
stupid.
his favorite song right now is The Ants Go Marching, but he calls it Boom Boom Boom.
boom, boom.
He always just goes boom boom boom, and I'm like, the ants go marching on,
Fucking dumbass.
And he's just the only part he sings is the boom boom boom.
Love kids.
Fucking hate it.
Love
love 'em.
kids.
Little kid lover.
Ooh, Jesus.
That's not me.
Is that at your
From the
graduation?
office. It's from the
I know,
office.
was that at your graduation?
Yes, and now everyone thinks I'm probably a pedophile or whatever. I'm not.
God.
Full
She just loves-
disclaimer, I'm not.
she's like a babysitter.
Not.
And not her.
So there's some funny, witty writing. Like the Baskin Robbins thing.
Yeah.
Baskin Robbins always
Can I
finds
get
out.
just like a really hot?
Oh no, I was
like
gonna
a
say the
pretzel?
Baskin Robbins always finds out, and that just like keeps coming out up throughout the
No,
movie.
but then just the I just like want like something hot off the menu. This is
like
an
whatever's
ice
hot
cream
and
place.
hot and fresh. Dude, come on. And a great scene is when Michael Douglas is explaining to Paul Rudd, Hank Pym's explaining to Scott Lang, like, we're in trouble, this could be a huge deal, and he's like, well, I think the first thing we should do is call the Avengers. And it's like, that makes so much sense because you're watching all the movies in Phase 3,
And they never
it's like
talk about
Iron Man
each other.
3, why didn't he just fucking call up Captain America
Right.
to help him, or
Well,
Thor?
he was going through something.
Like,
We're all going through
all of
something.
them could have helped out. It's just, what were the other Avengers? They didn't even call. Like, what were the other Avengers doing? At this
Training,
point?
getting
Just
ready.
chilling.
Like,
Just chilling.
the fucking president was
Looking
kidnapped
for
in
the
Iron
Hulk.
Man 3. That is a job for Captain America
Yeah,
to take
and
care of.
the vice president just let it happen.
Yeah, and he gets arrested at the end.
Yeah.
It's refreshing to see a
Paul Rudd.
small scale story.
I hate you so much.
Are you? I'm leaving.
Bye. You have to go back to
In
New York.
comparison to like
Yeah.
the world-ending
Taking the
movies
Next bus.
of all the other ones, this one's just kind of like a corporate
Yeah, the
espionage
world's gonna
heist
end, but like,
film.
Well, I like how they
but
use.
let's deal
But it's
with
not
it.
even like a world-ending thing. It's just
this
this-
asshole over here.
yeah, he's just making tech that shouldn't be in the hands of
He
everybody.
melted people like into Jello.
He didn't mean to do that. He meant to shrink that guy, but his tech was shit, so
He
he
accidentally turned him into
kills
like
him.
Jello.
Well, I like how they did the like small but mighty. Like everyone has these big ass things, and he's an ant, and he's beating down
was that
people.
also a pun? A small but mighty thing?
It wasn't a pun. It's a saying, like
Whatever.
a little
But I mean,
kid.
because he's an ant, but he's still really strong
Yeah,
when
and
he
they're really
turns
strong.
into an ant.
Yeah, I liked how they can use that as
And
like
the
a
ants are
hero.
What was his one?
ants are
Oh, I
Ants'
have right
name?
here,
Ants are so
Rip
cool.
Antony.
Antony. That was
He
his
gets
name.
killed. You remember? He gets shot.
Oh yeah.
And he
Fucking
screams when he gets shot, and it's heartbreaking.
Antony screams?
Yeah.
Who's
When I was watching it,
His flying
His
ant.
flying
that he
ant
used,
that
that
he
was
rode.
like his tail.
it said in the subtitles, Antony screams.
Oh
And I was like,
It's just too high pitched. You can't hear it. It's not.
no, it's like a.
And then-
And also has a relatable and sympathetic lead. Like he wants
To
Scott
Antony.
Lang to
Antony
to
was the
succeed
lead.
and
Like the
just,
wasp guy,
just
too.
hang out with his daughter.
Oh, what, the villain?
Yeah, he was pretty cool.
Like
was a
Yellow
good villain.
Jacket.
He was a good
Cons.
villain.
I had boring villain.
Oh no, I liked him because I was like, oh, it's personal. Okay.
I just like the
Yeah,
suit.
but
How
like
he
it's
hate
also like
sex.
why is he a villain? Because the Pym
and
particles are messing
I
with his
like
brain.
Hank Pym too. Was that the one that had like the flashback and it made him like look younger? And I was like, ooh, I didn't like that.
I thought they did pretty well. The
I don't
younger
know.
Michael Douglas.
I don't like it when they like with like Kurt Russell when it was like the flashbacks in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Like I don't know why they're just something that they look creepy when they try to make them look younger in flashbacks.
This movie also kills off Janet Van Dyne, who is a really big. She's a founding member of the Avengers.
Oh.
Wasp.
The first one. Well,
yeah.
but we don't know
But-
if she's dead.
Yeah, now she's being played by Michelle Pfeiffer in the sequel. So I called it when we got out of that movie, and I made a little article post thing about it.
They
and I
never
was
flat
like,
out said that she died because it was like unknown.
Yeah, so she goes into the subatomic realm. You never see her face in any picture
Yeah,
she's in.
she's only
wearing her
in-
mask, so they definitely left it open to cast someone like Michelle Pfeiffer for her to come back, and that's fucking sweet.
Her coming
So-
back as another super person because she's
Yeah.
Catwoman.
And also, this movie could have been an Edgar Wright movie. This movie could have been an Edgar Wright
It was so really
fucking
good.
movie, but it would have been better, and that's why
No.
it's here. Because
Okay.
like
I know
That
you.
might-
You
that-
have a big crush on Edgar Wright. Let's move on.
that thought is just always there.
Thought.
If she breathes, she a thought. All women are queens. The official stance of this podcast is all women are queens.
Yeah.
Me. Respect. Women.
Except for maybe like
Gun.
Kellyanne Conway and Betsy DeVos. They can fuck right off. Anyway, this movie has Stan Lee as a bartender
Fuck off.
in Michael Pena's story. So
Oh, yeah.
Michael Pena technically plays Stan Lee.
I really love Michael Pena.
Number
Infinity
9.
Stone or no?
No Infinity Stone.
Okay.
Little Man.
You're
No
losing
Infinity
the
Stone.
format here, okay?
Number 9. Phase 1, 2008.
Iron Man?
It is Iron Man, the
Ooh,
first
that's a
Iron
good
Man,
one.
directed by
Iron
John
Man.
Favreau.
I hate how the word iron is spelled. That's all.
Iron.
Yeah, I hate it.
Okay.
It just makes me think of the song Iran.
And Iron. Pros. It introduced Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark and kicked this whole thing off and
Brought back
revitalized
his...
Robert Downey Jr.'s whole career.
Yeah.
He's a great
Yes.
actor. Jeff Bridges, also a fantastic actor.
Oh, I always forget that. He's
Yeah.
bald in it, right?
He's the first MCU villain.
I don't recognize him when he's bald.
Gwyneth
Yeah.
Paltrow. Is she in this?
Yeah, she's in it, so.
So Gwyneth Paltrow, isn't she kind of a shitty person?
Yes, I've heard that she's not. People don't like her. Because she just, is very uppity.
I
and,
used to, when I was younger, get her and Nicole Kidman
You
mixed
should
up.
steam
and
clean
I
your
got it.
vagina.
Oh, God.
I feel
That's
like
what
people
I
should
do.
hate her instead of hating Anne Hathaway. Or maybe
Yeah,
both
because
of
she
them
actually
have-
has, a reason.
But I used to always get
Kinda be
her
hated.
and Nicole Kidman mixed up. But then I remembered I do like Nicole Kidman. Like, I think she's a good person. But I forgot which one was actually a shitty person in real life.
Yeah.
I did Nicole Kidman dirty because I, for a second, was like, yeah, she's a shitty person,
Yeah,
isn't
for a
she? And I'm like, no,
second.
she wasn't. She
Waste
isn't.
no second.
This is a really good redemption story as well for Tony Stark himself.
Yeah.
It came out in kind of a
That
darkish
party boy.
time for comic book movies. I mean, yes, The Dark Knight came out that same year, but this was a very
That movie
different.
was dark.
I meant darkish as in bad time for superhero movies because
But also that movie, the
Yeah.
lighting was literally dark.
The Dark Knight is. This just showed that comic book movies don't have to be hyper realistic and really
Oh, no.
dark. It can be fun directly from the page to the screen.
Like real life.
But also, X-Men Origins Wolverine came out that year, and Spider-Man 3 had come out the year beforehand.
You tried so
superhero
hard.
Movies were kind of
You're always defending Spider-Man 3. You always defend
I like it. The public did not.
No.
And it's not even that high ranked on
Was that
my
when Peter
Spider-Man.
became an asshole?
That's like that.
This is a really good example for an audio medium.
Yeah, sorry.
You dancing.
It's when he like flips his hair and then his jowl jiggles. Yeah. That was the best part of Spider-Man 3.
And really...
People can't see what I'm doing.
Oh, cool.
So it's kind of pointless to be doing that. But I still did it for you.
Avery, you're learning how to like perform for audio mediums, like singing.
But she wants to do it live.
Yeah, but like
people.
Cast recordings, that's an audio medium, baby.
What?
Don't come in, baby. Oh my God, I learn something new every day.
And also, it started the perfect, irreplaceable
Boss Baby. Sorry.
Boss Baby shared cinematic universe.
Okay.
The MCU. It started it. So, like, and it has yet to be repeated.
Not enough Hawkeye.
Very well.
Very well.
Some cons. There's like a weird sudden turn for Obadiah Stane. Like, he's like...
Jeff Bridges?
Hey, man, I'm pissed off now. I'm going to try to fucking kill you all.
I always forget it's him because he's bald in it. And I'm like, Jeff Bridges, you're supposed to have beautiful locks.
And
what happened?
The finale is an Iron Man clone, and that set a bad precedent for the sequel because it's just a big Iron Man.
Oh.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
If he built it, can't he destroy it?
Well, yeah, I mean, he outsmarts him because Obadiah Stane has a more powerful suit and everything and has the newer arc reactor in there, but Iron Man's like, oh, you don't know that your suit will freeze up if I take you too high up.
You don't know
and
shit.
He learns a lesson about self-sacrifice and everything. So this is the first Stan Lee cameo.
And he kisses Pepper Potts.
Yep, first Stan Lee cameo in the whole...
it's the first one.
Yeah, MCU. He is Hugh Hefner.
Yeah.
Didn't he die?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there are no Infinity Stones.
After this happened. No.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, just recently.
Yeah.
Number 8.
Oh, wow, we're getting pretty close.
Yeah, Phase 1. 2011.
Captain America.
Yes, Captain America.
Oh,
the first Avenger.
You are killing the game.
Directed by Joe Johnston, who also directed Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Oh.
And
I love that movie.
Jumanji, the original.
But 2 classics. Wow. What a guy.
But also like The Rocketeer. So
I don't know what that is,
so
we're just going to forget about it.
Yeah.
Jumanji and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Pros. It's, in my opinion, the best Phase 1 origin film.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a good? Some really, really good tiny Chris Evans effects that still hold up by space standards.
Angel.
So when I was rewatching it today, 7 years later, it was still really, really good. I couldn't really tell any time that it was an effect. And sometimes it wasn't an effect. Sometimes they just had him like hold his breath and like make himself look smaller.
That?
That's what I've heard.
I think we're wrong.
But the effects are so good that when he comes out of the machine, it's like, well, that's the fake one.
Wait, and I think everyone could have just agree with Haley Atwell as Peggy when she just like reaches and like touches his like his new man boob.
Oh, okay.
And everyone was just kind of like, yes, do that for us, please.
It's got a nice adventurous, swashbuckly kind of action feel to it, which I like.
A bunch of amazing characters.
Yep. It's interesting to see the MCU at a different time period as well. Strong supporting cast. You mentioned Haley Atwell,
Peggy Carter,
Sebastian Stan,
my fucking heart.
Tommy Lee Jones, and Toby Jones are all good. Haley Atwell. Say that 3 times fast. Haley Atwell.
Haley Atwell.
That's not fast. That's not fast.
Haley Atwell.
Anyway, Haley Atwell and Chris Evans.
Great chemistry.
Yeah, really good together. Chris Evans was actually not paid that much for this movie, less than you'd think. It's like
he's such a gem. He wouldn't even ask for it. They would be like, "We're gonna pay you $5," and he'd be like, "Yeah, of course, man."
He was only paid $300,000.
Oh no!
Oh, wow.
But this is like an MCU movie. This movie was bound to make over $100 million.
But he's a very
and he was playing the title role.
He's a
that's weird.
No,
yeah.
I think
is
he's
that a lot
like.
I mean,
it is a lot of money, but for acting, that's like for starring in one of these movies. That's not that
maybe
much.
they should start getting paid what normal people get paid.
Well, obviously he got paid millions for his next appearance. But
okay, cool, made up for it.
Yeah, it had a decent villain, Hugo Weaving. I kind of want to see him come back at some point.
I liked that we got to know Bucky before he turned into the Winter Soldier.
Yep. He was good.
And he was precious.
Alan Silvestri's score is really, really good.
His band of guys, they were all really cool.
Yeah. It has a really good Captain America theme in this one. I really wish they just kept the themes from the phase 1. The dun, 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 dun. That's like...
Oh, yeah, that one. What a classic.
Hey, fuck you.
I jammed to that, It's in my throwback playlist.
It made Captain America cool without like changing anything about his core characterization
he's still
from the
cheesy.
comics.
He's still a really cheesy guy.
Yeah, but like
Who tells you to watch
I used
your
to
language?
not really. I used to dislike Captain America, and this movie made me like him.
You love Captain America.
Now,
He has a shield right in the corner of the room.
yes, I
It's
bought
real.
that shield in 2015, 4 years after I had seen this movie,
Wow.
and it changed my opinion
Wow.
towards
Changed
Captain
my life.
America.
Wow.
Some cons, some of the other effects, aside from the tiny Chris Evans effects, are like pretty bad now. Like
Yeah.
in watching it, they're
I like it when Red Skull.
they were good at the
fake.
time.
But
Yeah, they're
I
really
like it
fake
when
looking.
Red Skull like peels off his face, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Oh yeah, I meant CGI effects,
skull.
not
Yeah, no.
practical effects.
He literally peels it off and is like, "It's me,
Face
bitch.
mask."
I'm red."
There's like kind of strange pacing to it. Like it's really fast and then it'll slow, and then it's really, really fast. Like there are like
shaking.
I like how you
Steve-O.
demonstrated it.
3
Yeah,
montages
Dan, they
in
can't
this movie.
see what you're doing.
No, like with his voice.
Can you see what I'm doing?
Really fast.
he just gave me his ring finger, not his middle finger.
Mm-hmm.
Put a ring on it.
No.
Like there are like a lot of montages and then like a lot of just nothing and then
Oh, the
montages.
montages are great.
And also Chris Evans' body puts everyone to shame except
Ugh.
for Chris Hemsworth.
I mean, Chris Evans.
Zaddy.
I've loved him since I first saw Not Another Teen Movie. He's fucking famous.
We don't need to go on another tangent about not another teen movie. We've already done
Did we?
that.
Oh yeah, when I was talking Gray's character, because Lexi,
Yeah.
because he was like mind blown. I was like, she's from Not Another Teen Movie.
I don't know. Not another teen movie.
It's making fun of all of them. You gotta watch it. It's hilarious.
Teen Beach movie.
I've seen that and the sequel. Yeah, the children love it.
Stan Lee appears in this film as a general who says, I thought he'd be taller. An Infinity Stone that appears in this movie
Why did he
is...
say I thought he'd be taller?
Well, it's during the Captain America montage, like his first one.
I thought
And-
that was in the Winter Soldier.
No, he's getting like a medal, and then a random guy walks out, and he's like, he's not coming.
Oh.
And then Stanley's like, I thought he'd be taller. That was a bad Stanley impression. Excelsior!
I don't know what that means either.
Same.
That's what he always used to sign off his letters with to the fans. Us, the fans. An Infinity Stone does make its appearance. It's the first Infinity Stone in the whole series. The Tesseract.
Oh,
Space Stone.
I thought you said the blue one.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
blue.
okay.
that cube.
Number 7.
Oh, like in Transformers?
A little bit. A little bit. No.
Sorry.
Phase
That was
3
the other day.
film came out in...
What number is this?
Number 7.
I thought you said 11, and I was like, you're going backwards now.
Phase 3 film came out in the year of our Lord, 2018.
Thor
Oh, God. Wait.
Ragnarok?
No.
No. No.
Black Panther.
Black Panther.
Yeah, Black Panther.
Why is that not higher up on
Seven?
the list?
I haven't even seen it, and I know it should not be 7.
I'm confused.
No, I'm just
Well,
kidding.
I will
Whatever.
explain.
Whatever, you say. Whatever you say.
I just
Dropping
folded
it.
my
Oh, okay.
computer weirdly. Directed by Ryan Coogler, who I am a big fan of. I really enjoy Creed and Fruitvale Station. So, pros. Also
Every
from
single
Creed
cast
and
member.
Fruitvale Station, Michael B. Jordan.
Every single cast member
He
is.
is, in my
Pro.
opinion, the second best MCU villain. I will talk about the
Thought you were
best
gonna
one
say
later.
sexiest.
Yes.
He is probably the sexiest.
Right now, we're watching scrawny Michael B. Jordan on
Friday Night
Lights, and it's hilarious. He's
Don't
so
say
funny,
anything
Jordan.
just in case you spoil stuff, because I'm
He's
still
not
not done. So, Michael B. Jordan is fantastic in this movie. It has great arcs for the hero and the villain.
And you understand.
Has a
Wow.
strong cast all around. It's kind of hard to find weak links in it. The casino fight scene into the chase scene in,
Oh, okay.
I think, Bangkok, is it?
Yeah.
Is really, really good when he's like first testing
Yeah.
out his new suit.
Yeah.
So what exact powers do they have? In the suit they have powers?
No, he has powers without.
As the king, he
Yeah, he
takes it's heart-shaped flowers.
Herb, yeah.
Herb.
and it gives him like enhanced strength, speed, agility.
So he has to eat the thing.
So yes, well he only eats it once,
okay.
and then it gives him the powers forever. And then the suit just is vibranium, so it's
that's what Cap's shield is made out of.
So
it's like the strongest
he can't die
metal.
when he's like wearing.
Oh, cool.
Like nothing can penetrate.
But like all like the jumping and running, like that's just him naturally.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, wait, she hasn't seen it. I don't want to spoil too much of this movie.
Oh no,
because it's so fucking good.
I'm sorry, because I'm gonna spoil it.
Oh no, that's fine.
I'll
probably still cry.
Sister Shuri.
A great soundtrack and a great score. That's good.
Oh my god.
It's rare. So it has like fun tech. It has like a bit of a James Bondy feel with Shuri, like kind of as his cue, like showing all his cool
his younger
gadgets.
sister? She's like a genius. She's
and of course,
considered the smartest person in the Marvel universe at the moment.
I'd be dumb not to mention it. It's representation for Black Americans, Black folks everywhere, basically.
Yeah.
And now they're like these studio execs are surprised that
they were like shocked that it did
the biggest grossing film of the year so far.
It's made how much money?
No,
it's
and
like
ever.
Yeah, it's like in the top 10.
It beat Titanic.
Yeah.
Which is
and
like
fucking amazing.
Which is like way up there.
So what do you these movie producers always get the wrong message from these movies that do well. So what do you think the wrong message is going to be that they get from Black Panther?
What do you think they're going to do? Because I think they're going to keep making the villain African American because they're going to be like, well, he did really great. And then it's like, no, that's not where we're going.
Superheroes.
Cat-themed superheroes.
Not just, representation. So, the message that they're probably going to get from Wonder Woman is, World War I movies. They're popular. People like that.
Oh, my God.
Let's make World War I movies. It did really well.
I think from this one, they're going to be like, we had a villain that was African American. Obviously, that worked. And it's like, well... the whole movie worked. It worked.
Well, actually.
But they're going to keep, making
because
the villain.
A lot of people didn't have a superhero to really, really connect with.
Yeah.
Because they're all white.
Exactly.
And now all these people are going to see your movie. Duh. Fucking idiots.
Okay, honey?
No, I don't like big Hollywood.
Uh-huh.
No, I do. I eat this shit up.
It's okay.
They've
got an article about it.
Noise. But yeah, I think my guess for the wrong message is cat-themed heroes. You say Black villains. Avery, you haven't seen it yet. So, or maybe out-of-date memes.
Well, they don't have, they don't connect with the outside world, and so Shuri does what are those?
Yeah,
She's 15 years old. She does it to
Avery is grimacing
to
right
T'Challa
now.
because he's wearing
Is it serious or no one laughs?
It's serious.
She walks into his lab wearing these nasty sandals, and she's like,
"Those are his
what are you doing in my lab?"
sandals.
She's like, "What are those?" It's great.
Okay, that was one of my cons.
It would be funny if someone was like, dude,
I realized also the movie is set in 2016.
Yeah, okay.
Also,
but
they aren't very. They have hidden themselves away from the rest of the world.
My Crocs.
But they've hidden themselves from the rest of the world. So obviously, if they get the memes, then they're late.
Okay, so my main gripe with it is with such a good villain and such a strong supporting cast, there's serious focus taken off of Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa.
He was fabulous.
He is a good actor and he was really good, but I didn't really walk away from that movie being he was the best part of that, or I know a lot more about T'Challa now and who he is as a person. Yeah. And
But he had a real rough week.
Yeah.
It's literally
the week after
following Civil War where his dad dies.
Yeah.
He's chasing Bucky, and then it's oh wait, Bucky didn't kill him. Following week.
Oh my God, I thought you meant a real week.
No.
The actor.
In the world, this all happened within a week.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And then
all
that's
this shit
rough week, honey.
Holy, wow.
And this movie, okay, another con is, I'm sorry, Avery, but it kills off both villains, and I thought both villains were done really, really well, and they were both really
Andy
interesting.
Serkis.
Yeah, Andy Serkis is fantastic.
But I like that it was one killed the other.
Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger was great, and
he died?
It was a really beautiful scene.
I thought he was a good guy. I didn't know he's a villain.
Oh, no, he's the main villain.
He's the best.
Did you know when he took his shirt off, someone bit down so hard on her retainer, she broke it?
And then he tweeted back and was sorry.
Yeah, he replaced it. Yeah. What a guy. What a good person.
The orthodontist tweeted it, and then she was like,
yeah, he put it on Tumblr. He put it on Tumblr, and someone was like, oh, She
Somebody was like, that
"This
was
is-"
me.
Yeah.
Like, I actually was upset when he died. I
It
really
was a
wanted
beautiful
him
scene.
to stick around
And T'Challa wanted
be
to
a
still
villain
save him.
even more. Yeah. And that's the
T'Challa's
sign
such
of a
good
good
person.
villain, when you're like, I'm sad that they're gone now.
Because
And
you
also, I
understood
kind
like
of
where they were
agreed a
coming
little
from.
bit with what you were saying.
It was very easy to see where he was coming
I
from.
agree with the sentiment, but not the execution of what he was going for. And like some of the effects seemed like kind of half-baked. Like there were some parts I was like, ooh, that was
Oh my god, half-baked ice cream.
like when
I had cookie dough earlier.
specifically the part where Killmonger and Black Panther were like
T'Challa.
falling through the mine and like fighting each other. I was like, that looks entirely fake.
Killmonger's real name is Eric.
Yeah.
He chose the name Killmonger. Or it was like given to
Taserface.
him while he was in
And also, why why didn't T'Challa help Rhodey at the end of Civil War if he was willing to help Everett Ross? Like,
and Bucky.
Rhodey was like on his team. He obviously has the tech to fix Rhodey's legs whenever.
Well, maybe
or
we
could have.
find out that he did. I
Well,
don't
it's
know.
too late. It's
Yo,
like 2
Everett
years
Ross,
after
though.
now.
Did you hear in the interview Martin Freeman? They were calling him and Andy Serkis the Tolkien white guys because they're both from the Lord of the Rings universe. Instead of, I'm sorry, I think it's really funny
I don't get
That's a Bo Burnham joke,
because
actually.
you know they always say
Why,
like,
you stole
oh,
that
it's
from
like
Bo.
it's in like TV shows. It was always like, oh, the token black guy because it would literally be the only African American character.
I
So
am
in this,
familiar.
they were literally the only 2 white guys.
Oh,
So they
that's
called them the
cool.
Tolkien white guys.
Oh,
J.R.R. Tolkien, the guy
Yeah.
who wrote
The guy who
Lord of the Rings.
I get it. I
You
get
get it now?
I think
All
it's
right.
Yeah, I
funny.
knew.
And now
Tolkien,
our
sorry, I'm sorry.
readers, our listeners get it too.
Y'all think I'm
There
stupid.
you go, guys. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think I farted. I did not.
What else? No cons. No more cons. Stan Lee plays the man at the casino, and there was no Infinity Stone. I thought they
we
were
know
going to go
of.
into the Soul Stone in this
I
movie,
think they're
and I was kind of
going
upset
to
that they didn't.
I think that's where the Soul Stone is.
All right, number 6, Phase 3, 2017. Any guesses?
Oh,
Yes,
Civil
Thor
War.
Ragnarok,
Thor Ragnarok.
Oh,
Directed by Taika Waititi. I already did this one, so I'm just going to
Fucking
recap
amazing.
it really quickly. I did it for my first list.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just going to kind of go over the same points I had then because they haven't changed.
So fucking
So it's the
fabulous.
funniest MCU movie in my opinion.
He needs to direct all of them. From
without too
outside.
much bathos because it also advertises itself as a comedy film.
Yeah.
There are some major moments undercut, but the only really one I can think of is Banner hitting the bridge, and that was
That was a throwback, wasn't it?
yeah, it was actually a reference back to the original
Yeah.
Incredible Hulk.
Valkyrie. Oh, honey.
Valkyrie was great. Chris Hemsworth shows his range, his strong support. Korg, Valkyrie, Banner, Loki, and Jeff Goldblum are all great.
Surprisingly, Chris Hemsworth is a really great comedian.
Yeah.
You wouldn't guess from his manly looks.
It is visually interesting. There's great fight and action scenes, and it's leagues ahead of it over the other Thor movies, as it's
And the effects were great.
10 places
it's
above them.
2017.
Cons, it screwed over Sif and the Warriors 3.
Yeah, just get them all.
No Soul Stone. They thought they kind of like advertised it
Didn't
as
you think it was
being
gonna be
about the Soul
in-
Stone. I thought it was going to be in Mjolnir or
Heimdall.
behind Odin's eye patch.
Oh, but didn't people think that Heimdall had one?
that
Because his
is
eyes.
still one of the
Yeah.
major speculations
because
is
his eyes are literally.
that he has he has the Soul Stone.
Yeah. and that's why he can see everything.
Stan Lee cameos as a barber who cuts his hair,
Oh,
and
yeah.
there is an Infinity
Beautiful
Stone
haircut.
in it. The Space Stone shows up again. It's
Yeah.
blue. Down to the top 5. Fucking hell. An hour and 21 minutes in.
That's not bad. We just got through like 5 in 20 minutes.
Okay. Number 5, Phase 2, 2014. A lot of people consider it their top, number 1, but I don't.
Hold on.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
New.
Oh, God.
Hold on.
2014. Oh, wait, no, Guardians of the Galaxy did come out in 2014. You're right.
I didn't know it came out.
We already do it. We did Age of Ultron.
Was it Captain
Did
America
we do
Civil
Age
War?
of Ultron? Civil
Yeah,
War.
Is it Civil
No.
War?
No.
Hold on. Wait.
You had the
Did I say it?
title right.
Captain America, Winter Soldier.
Yes, the Winter Soldier.
I didn't know they had. Oh, is
Directed-
that Avengers Civil War?
No, it's Captain America
Civil
Civil War. Captain America is Captain America First Avenger, Captain America Winter Soldier, Captain America
War.
Civil War.
Okay.
So this is we're talking about the Winter Soldier here, number 5, directed by the two base gods themselves, the Golden Boys of the MCU, Anthony and Joe Russo, the Russo brothers, who previously, like, their biggest directing thing was the movie. No, not the movie. Actually, yeah, I think they directed Yumi and Dupree, and a couple episodes of Community.
What else?
And then they made this, which is fantastic.
What have they made since?
These movies.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're doing Infinity War.
Oh,
that's the two of them.
I don't pay attention to who directs things unless it's to kind of.
I don't really have cons for any of the movies going forward. So pros, it is very well shot. It takes a darker approach than any other MCU movie, and it works. Thor: The Dark World tried to go dark, and it failed miserably. Yeah. This one actually does it, and does it well. It furthers a great arc and characterization of Captain America. Like, specifically, I love the line, "This isn't freedom, this is fear." I think that's fantastic. Fantastically done. It shows a lot of who he is as a person. It introduces Sam Wilson very well, and more Black Widow is good. I think
we haven't mentioned at all? Nick Fury.
Yeah, which is weird. I mean, he doesn't really play.
But he's like, he brings them together.
Yeah, he brings them together, but like...
Who does? Nick Fury.
I'm surprised I didn't mention him during Iron Man 2, because he feels kind of tacked on in that movie. Yeah. A little bit.
Yeah.
But that was apparently because Samuel L. Jackson was considering not doing these, and they were like, okay, we'll give you a really big role in Iron Man 2, and you sign this 9-movie contract right now. So he did.
Holy shit.
Yeah, he's really good in this movie, actually. It's probably his best. And also, I feel it's...
He fakes his death in this one, right?
The best of Black Widow as well in this movie. So I'm excited to see her again.
I'm Black Widow.
And her and Steve's friendship really...
Yeah, I'm excited to see the Russo brothers take control of her again from fucking Joss Whedon, who was shithouse at writing for her.
We don't like Joss Whedon in this
Sorry, I said shithouse a lot.
We like Joss Whedon circa, like... What years would we even...
Firefly's good. So 2001.
He did Buff, right?
Buffy, yeah.
Good old Buffy. And Buffy was excellent.
Let's continue with this, though. Fantastic action and hand-to-hand combat scenes are... They do them really, really well. There's like the elevator scene. There's the scene on the highway and then into the streets between Black Widow and Falcon.
Oh, I saw that scene.
Captain America, against the Winter Soldier.
On the highway, yeah. That's the only thing I remember.
That is a good one, yeah. See, it sticks in your mind.
Yes.
And also the opening on the boat. Captain America fucking, like, nails that one dude. Like, he just kicks him off the side.
Takes off the helmet, puts down the shield, and it's like, let's fucking go.
Yeah. It puts Cap into a genre not many would have expected for him, and it functions as a solid spy thriller, as well as it does as a superhero film. It adapted a great comic arc, too. The Winter Soldier is great. It used to be a saying in between comic book nerds, nobody really dies in comics except Uncle Ben, Bucky, and Jason Todd.
Yeah.
And now 2 of those people are back, so we're just waiting on Uncle Ben, I guess.
Can I just say something that I loved from it real quick?
Sure.
Hail Hydra.
That became an unexpected meme as well.
That was great, just the whispering in your friends' ear. Hail Hydra.
There's some great social commentary in this movie about
what?
Like governments maybe getting too into
Involved.
People's lives or people being like totally willing to give up
What? Government does that?
their personal freedoms just to feel safe.
Yeah.
But then when that happens, people
Get
can
upset.
take advantage of that.
I don't like that shit.
You know, I'm for a bigger government, but not that big. Not that big.
Drain the swamp.
Stop.
Opposite.
I know.
Avery.
Fill the swamp.
That's a small...
Fill it up. Overflow.
Oh, my God. You guys are... Oh, God. Oh, no.
Oh, God.
It has good villains. Sebastian Stan and Robert Redford are both fantastic.
Can we call Sebastian Stan a villain in it?
Yes.
But, like, overall, Bucky is
Kills
brainwashed.
people in this movie.
He's brainwashed.
Yeah, but he still functions as a villain.
Yeah, I know.
Cons. I wrote error 404 not found. So Stanley appears as the Smithsonian guard who's going to lose his job because Captain America fucking robs him and ruins this man's life.
Yeah, he steals his suit.
And there are no Infinity Stones in this movie.
Yeah.
Number 4, Phase 2, also 2014. Avery already said it earlier. Guardians of the Galaxy. Directed. They both just dabbed. Oh my fucking god. Directed.
Mine wasn't as finessed.
I had to take these off.
By James Gunn. Yeah, you can just take them off.
Yeah, they're just uncomfortable around my ears. They're too big for my ears. They rested on my shoulders. They're so big.
What was it? Where was I? Directed by James Gunn. Prose. It's very entertaining, very funny.
I watched it so many times.
Fucking blew a lot of people's expectations out of the water. A lot of people I knew.
It made our friend cry.
Even Jess was like, "This movie."
Cried during Groot when Groot was making all the lights come. Literally
he was making lights come.
Stop.
Cummies. Sorry.
No.
No, but the scene the he's
the
letting off
spores,
the spores.
Yeah.
Literally, our friend started audibly just sobbing.
That's kind
in the middle of the theater.
In the middle of the theater, and I'm there dying of laughter, trying to hold that sound in, and
it was and
they were muffling their mouth, so it was oh ew, sobbing. You would have thought something actually died. Yeah. It was before Groot even technically died.
Yeah.
It was just because it was beautiful.
He did die.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but he came back as a little baby.
No,
it's
that's
actually
not him. That's his son.
Okay, well.
I know, right?
It's still gonna
but,
say the same thing.
He hadn't even died. He was just making it look pretty, and they...
Oh my god, because he's bringing his seed.
Ew!
Get it?
Yeah, it is.
Seed.
That is
but still,
literally what's happening.
The way that you said it.
There's a great team dynamic, great casting, and dialogue. It's a very relatable kind of film.
Relatable.
It actually takes on a theme that's not very common in the MCU, which is motherhood and the relationship between mothers and sons.
Mommy issues.
Almost all of the MCU movies are about fatherhood.
Yeah.
It's in...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so let's
the patriarchy.
Let's go through them real quick. We've got...
Tony and his
Iron
papa.
Man. So Tony...
Thor and his papa.
Thor and his dad.
Loki and his papa.
Age of Ultron is about kind of fatherhood. Tony's
the father of Ultron, technically.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Loki and...
Spider-Man Homecoming.
all of them.
Basically all of them are about fatherhood, so it's...
Yeah, because the one Avenger that... could get pregnant. Actually, she can't get pregnant, so she's a monster.
Allegedly.
Don't bring it up. It's really sensitive to me. I'm Black Widow and it's really sensitive.
It has the best soundtrack of any Marvel movie.
I still listen to it to this day.
That actually went platinum. I think it was nominated for something that year, Grammy for soundtrack. And the soundtrack was actually interwoven really well with the themes of the story. Surprisingly emotional. R.I.P. Groot. I think James Gunn makes the saddest MCU scenes because he also was responsible for Yondu's death, which is very sad, and the funeral. Shout out to Kevin Smith for live streaming himself sobbing while watching it. Have you seen that video?
No.
Oh, it's so funny.
Wait, Kevin Smith?
Yeah, the film director.
Not Kevin James?
Yeah.
What movie? No.
I was thinking,
Kevin Smith,
Mallrats and
I know, why
Clerks.
can't I think of the two names?
Jay and Silent Bob.
Jay and Silent Bob, that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll look him.
So also this movie explains the Infinity Stones for the first time in the MCU, which was good, kind of clarifying. I don't know why they changed all the colors for them though.
I think they're beautiful.
They're different than they are in the comics.
And we got to see a Celestial.
The only cons I had for this one is that they're kind of weak villains. Ronan the Destroyer and Korath.
Korath?
Exactly. He's Korath, the guy who's who to Star-Lord in the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
We counted him as a villain?
He's a villain, yeah.
Ew, what?
He's from the comics, so...
Oh, he's the one who's I'm Star-Lord, and he's like, who? And he's like, oh, don't you know me?
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, man!
Stan Lee appears as a Class A prevert on Xandar.
Oh.
And the Infinity Stone in this one is Power, which is purple.
Power!
Number 3.
Shut up.
Purple!
Phase 1, 2012.
Oh, God.
May.
2012.
Spider-Man?
2012.
No, that's a year ago, not even.
It wasn't
Hold
a year ago.
on.
May of 2012.
Oh, the Avengers.
Yeah.
We weren't
You'll
dating
never
yet.
guess what it is.
I wasn't born
It's
yet.
the Avengers. Directed by
we
Joss
started
Whedon.
dating how long after that came out?
A month after it came out.
Are you okay, Avery?
I remember because
so
you went to go see it
weird.
again for your mom's birthday a couple weeks after we started dating.
And my mom never saw that movie.
Or you wanted to go see it
wow.
for
Me
your
and
mom's
Lies.
Joanne and
The
Ron
lies
saw
are
it.
coming out.
My mom would not sit down and watch that.
Wow, they're sitting across
She
from each
couldn't
other
even
like
sit
this
down
shit.
and watch Harry Potter.
This
for me.
shit is getting real.
I swear to God, you guys went and your mom and your sister both hated it and
No.
walked out and afterwards were like, that was so
I wasn't
dumb.
with them. They probably went, and I was like, I've seen it 3
Wow.
times in theaters. So
So what are the 3 times you saw it?
Oh my
saw
God, is this important?
twice with Joanne, once with
Guys,
my
okay.
brother.
Directed by Joss Whedon.
No.
This was a better outing for him. Pros, it's a culmination of all of Phase 1, executed very well. Nothing like anything
Watching everyone
anybody
meet
had
each
ever
other
seen
was
before.
fun.
It was fantastic team dynamic. Great to see all these.
One of the best lines is Thor going, "He's adopted."
Yeah, it was great to see all these beloved characters on screen for the first time.
Together.
Like, it melted people's minds because, like, it's nothing like this had ever
Oh yeah,
happened.
because like
It
now
was
you can
such a
finally
big
Had
deal.
picture
anything
them.
like this ever happened before?
No.
Okay.
No,
like
not.
now you can picture them like in the same universe. You mean?
Yeah, like,
It's like, oh, shit.
No
yeah,
one
so
had
it actually
done
worked
this.
out.
it was awesome.
No one had-
I remember seeing, like, I was a freshman in high school, and I went
Holy
to go
shit.
see the Avengers with my mates.
I was a junior.
Now I'm with them. Yeah.
Stop being Tom Holland.
When was
sorry.
that? What year was I?
2012.
I was in
You-
7th grade.
I remember being a freshman, and I was like, I went with my buddies. I went to go see this, and
I
it
was
was
17 years old.
crazy. And like I just had all these girls like just throwing themselves at me.
Shut up.
Sure
no,
you
you
did.
did not. It was probably, the room was full of men. We were all clapping at the end of the movie.
I hate it when people do that unless I did that at Black Panther because it was that good.
Yeah,
I
my-
clapped.
We all did that at the end of Quiet Place.
Oh my God.
So
I
fucking
just
No.
want to make a noise.
I felt so uncomfortable.
That
we all
too.
like walked out of the theater and nobody was like talking, and then we were like, so it was good.
We were in New York and we were all like,
Oh.
yes!
Oh my God, that movie.
Okay, sorry.
I
Dan
remember
still
like
hasn't
my
seen it.
friends and
I
I,
know.
like there were like 6 or 7 of us who organized going to see this movie
You and
together.
Classic freshman.
Because none of us could drive yet, so like we all like took the bus
That's what we all
or
did
something.
for the Harry Potter premiere.
And we like
Could your mom
bought
drive us?
we bought our tickets before, and like it was just like it was a good time. It is a fond memory of mine going to see this movie for the first time. God, I wish my life were that happy still.
Oh my God.
That was a joke.
Excuse me?
In this.
Avery's getting really uncomfortable with your rude comments.
No,
There was
I'm loving it.
a solid villain in this one with Loki.
Locky.
Yeah, it set up Thanos really well. And it was just like, it was
Yay,
emotional.
Thanos.
It was exciting. It was funny.
I didn't get that
a great
emotional.
Forgetting
job.
what happens in
Yo,
Hey,
it
Phil
made us all love
fucking
Coulson,
Coulson.
and then he was like never mentioned again because
Yeah, he
he's
died.
on TV now.
Yeah,
and it's like,
died, and then his
Dude,
death
why
was
did
kind
you
of
get us
undercut.
so? Yeah,
Bathos,
yeah.
long form.
She was like, those weren't in his locker. Thanks, Kobe Smolder.
Khan's Cap's costume. We've already gone over this. Stan Lee. He plays
It's
a
kind of a
man
piece
in
of shit.
Central Park who's like, what?
What
Heroes
are they
in New
selling?
York? Bah.
Bah, humbug.
Infinity Stones. This one has 2. Has the Space Stone, which is blue, and the Mind Stone, which is yellow, but it's blue in this movie for some reason.
It's okay.
I have a
Because it's in
question.
Loki's scepter.
Oh, so he has them and they're trying to get it
Yeah,
from
he
him?
fails at taking
them
over
from
the
him.
Earth, even though he has 2 Infinity
Yeah, what?
Stones to
But
do it.
he didn't know that he had 2.
Yeah.
So he probably
Maybe if
didn't
he
know.
told them,
He didn't know like the
told them, you
extent.
have 2 Infinity Stones, dude. He would be like,
Why would they tell him?
He didn't know just how powerful his weapons
Thanos
were.
gave them to him. Like, yeah.
Wait, which is really
Thanos?
dumb
I thought
because
you
then
meant
in
the
Guardians of the-
Avengers telling him.
Oh no, I was thinking of Lee Pace. I was like, he's trying to get one, but he
is.
had him.
He is trying to get
Why did
Yeah,
Thanos just fucking give it to
he hires
him?
Ronan to get it for him.
God. But then Ronan's like, I'm going to keep it for myself.
Mm.
Go on.
Oh, God.
Stop.
All right, we're at number 2. Phase 3, 2017.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man Homecoming.
Spider-Man.
Directed
haven't seen that one
by
either.
John Watts. Again, I already talked about this one in the first episode, so I'm just going to do it real quick. Peter,
Give it a quickie.
I just started to say Peter Hollins. Tom Holland's Spider-Man is fantastic. It's the best Spider-Man on screen.
He's
I'm
such a
sorry,
cutie.
but it's true.
Such a
He's 2 days older than you.
He is 2 days older than me. So his character is
cute.
Captain America as well, which is kind of ironic because Spider-Man. His birthstone character.
Oh, I was
America.
like, I'm so confused. Spider-Man turns into Captain America when?
He's been
Hey, they're both from New York.
Hey,
You know that?
I'm walking
You
here.
go to school in New York. They're
Forget
from
about it.
Queens and
I'm from Queens.
Someone from
I'm
New York
from
should-
Brooklyn.
There we go.
Someone
Hey.
from New York should control all the pigeons because you could be a real superpower with that.
I'm
You do that
Cardi
shit.
B.
I'm sorry.
Oh, Kerr.
Oh,
Honey, you need to never do that again, please, and thank you.
All right. I'm tired. It has the best MCU villain of all time.
Who?
The Vulture is really good. It's honestly kind of hard to
Vulture,
see
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
anything wrong with his argument.
It
He was
also has
completely
Zendaya
screwed over.
and,
He doesn't want to hurt anybody.
he's just doing what he's got to do.
Yeah. It's crazy how many villains are directly Tony Stark's fault in these movies.
But also
wow, he's got a lot on
Zendaya.
his plate, okay?
Zendaya just
no wonder
like,
he
oh,
feels so
girl.
anxious.
Girl, yes.
Are they actually
bitch.
dating in real life?
No.
I heard that.
I don't know.
That's
What?
been a rumor since forever. I have to keep myself like...
So it's
Sorry, guys, I'm playing solitaire because I'm getting tired and this is keeping my mind going.
I'm fully intrigued.
yeah, it set up Spidey's corner of the MCU very well. It was funny. It was well written. Michael Giacchino's score, or Giacchino, I don't know. His
Great
score is
plot
really
twist.
good. It has a Hughesian feel. Yeah, it's got a great plot twist. It didn't overly rely on Iron Man. Ned is fantastic. There's the rubble scene, which calls back to Amazing Spider-Man
Oh
number
my god,
33.
that almost like made you cry.
We've gone over this.
I know.
The only
so-
con was that Sony were involved with the production, so they completely screwed the advertising and spoiled a lot of the movie for a lot of people.
What, in like the trailers?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
almost every
But it's
single
still-
set piece is spoiled in the trailers.
But it's still,
Yeah. So
got
Stan Lee plays one of Peter's neighbors. There are no Infinity Stones in this movie.
oh no.
All right, number one,
Jurassic World.
process of elimination.
Civil War, Captain
Boss,
America
baby.
Civil War.
Captain America: Civil War, the first Phase 3 film,
And
came
it's
out
all
in 2016.
of the airport scene.
Okay, let's get into it.
All because of that.
Directed by Joe and Anthony Russo. Pros. It has a large but developed cast. Honestly, I feel like this is a better Avengers sequel than Age of Ultron is. This
Yeah.
should have just been Avengers 2. And Age of Ultron should have
It
just
had
been a fucking
everyone.
Iron Man
It
movie.
even brought back Hawkeye after he retired.
Yeah.
It should have been an Avengers
There's
movie.
spectacular fight scenes in it, specifically the airport battle, which is just amazing. And before this movie
Spectacular.
came out, I was pretty cynical about it. I was like, they can't do Civil War. They don't have enough characters.
And everyone was like expecting Cap to die, and then he didn't.
Yeah. And then I saw it, and I was like, that was perfect.
So
There's
did this take
nothing to
place
improve
during
on.
the Civil War?
Yeah,
No.
they went back in time.
Wait, that was a serious question. Wait, okay. And then
No, there's a civil war among the Avengers. It's Iron Man versus
So
Captain
then why is it
America.
called...
Because
Yeah.
a civil war is a war among...
So why... I know, but why is it called Captain America? Why isn't it Avengers Civil
'Cause
War?
it
So
was-
that's why I thought...
It's mainly focused on Captain America.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm sorry, just like
I'll
Because
allow it.
the Civil War comic does focus on him a lot.
Okay.
Him and Spider-Man and Iron Man are the three main people really in that arc.
and that's when we first saw Spider-Man.
Yeah, it introduced Spider-Man
He's
and
a
Black
spider.
Panther very well.
Oh, yeah,
They
Black
both
Panther.
had... Black
This was
Panther
the
specifically,
beginning of Black Panther's very horrible week.
no good, very bad, horrible.
Horrible week.
Aw.
Black Panther has like a full arc in that movie, even though he only
Yeah.
has maybe like 7 minutes of screen time.
7 minutes in heaven.
Ooh. It has
Wow, with
like an
Black
emotional
Panther,
core to it,
T'Challa,
which I
stop.
really like. Like a strong like warring of ideals. You totally get where both sides is coming from. It's not
Yeah.
overly, even though it's a Captain America movie, it isn't like you need to agree with Captain America. It's like you
No,
can draw your
I
own
happen to
conclusions.
fall on Tony's side.
Wait, did they make up?
No, actually. There are like lasting consequences for the MCU. So at the end of the movie, the Avengers are broken up. That was actually a purposeful decision so that when Thanos shows
comes
They all...
it's
and
like
it's like bang, bang, bang. I'm
the
knocking down your
Avengers
door.
aren't together, so they
So
can't
they
just
gotta
like
kind of-
band like suddenly get
Oh.
together. Yeah,
Because some of them are war criminals now.
yeah.
Wait, why?
Cap and everyone who was on his side because
Because he won? Did he win?
No, because they broke the law on what they were doing.
So what happened was
Both of them. Didn't both of them break the law by fighting
No.
each other?
No, because
Iron Man-
Tony was given like 48 hours to like bring Captain America and all of them like in to like kind of
Okay, so it starts
Check 'em.
because the
After
government creates
Sokovia.
these things called the Sokovia Accords after what happens in Age of Ultron, because they're like these superheroes, they're answering to nobody, they're
Okay.
causing a lot of damage,
hurting a lot of people.
they need to be
While trying
brought
to
into
save
check.
people.
They need to be like part of
Yeah.
the government now. They
Yeah.
need to work for
Yeah.
the UN, actually, is who they would have worked for.
Like so when
But-
something's going wrong, they can kind of be like,
So
all right,
Tony
can't
is
get
really
involved.
into that because he's really guilty after what happens in Age of
Oh,
Ultron. He wants to like kind of remove the guilt a little bit from himself. So he's like, we should answer
We need to be
these.
checked.
But then Captain America says like, this is not right. We need to operate
not
on our
freedom.
own accords. What if they don't send us to somewhere we should go? Or what if they send us somewhere we shouldn't go? And
Like are used for the wrong reasons.
yeah, he doesn't want to answer to people who have agendas. He wants them to still be their own thing. So they're technically breaking the law whenever
So
they're
then
saving
they
people.
start fighting and
So-
causing more damage.
Yeah,
makes sense. Yeah.
So they
And-
have like the huge fight because one of like the guys kind of like in charge is like, all right, you guys have like 48 hours to bring them in, or else they are war criminals.
Yeah.
If you can like,
so
get
is
them
it like
in.
half and half? Like
Yeah.
Well, it's like, or
Yeah.
we're going to try to kill them when we bring them
like
in.
they
so.
are war criminals unless you get them to come and like sign this, which that was kind of fucked up. But
So I thought when Infinity War came, they'd be like, you know what, man? We
that's
gotta
kind of
solve
probably what's
this.
going to happen over the course.
But that's kind of cheesy.
well, and at the end, him and Tony do kind of like
Yeah, like Tony sees.
the error of his ways.
Honestly, it's better if you just watch the
Oh,
movie.
okay,
I'm
sorry.
gonna try to avoid spoilers for it because I love it so much, and also my pros aren't really into spoilers. So,
Gee.
so the spectacular fight scenes, the airport scene, the final battle are both really great. It's got an emotional core to it. I mentioned. Saw consequences for actions from previous films and going forward.
So I was just thinking about how Hawkeye and Natasha, they're on different sides, and literally as like they're punching each other, they pause and they're like, we're still friends though, right? And they're like, yeah, of course.
Oh my god.
It's a solid culmination of like a
Okay.
lot of plot threads throughout all of the MCU movies.
Mhm.
Sam and Bucky's relationship is really funny. They hate each other, but not really. They're both just trying to be Captain America's number one sidekick. It's subverted
But it's always gonna be Bucky.
expectations. Specifically with the villain and like his plan, like it makes it seem like he's gonna try and bring all the Winter Soldiers back, but that's not really what he wants at all. He just wants revenge on the Avengers because his family died
in Sokovia.
during the Age of Ultron deal.
Mm. So is he
and-
on Tony's side?
No, he's on
No,
no
he's
one's
not.
side. He wants them
Okay,
all.
he
He
wants
wants
to-
everyone to pay for it.
Oh,
Yeah, he wants the Avengers
So he's
to
like
just
an outside villain.
kill each other, basically.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, so he's in support of this war going on.
yeah.
Okay.
He's like, yes, bitch, fight.
This movie came out in May of 2016, 2 months after
Yeah.
Batman vs Superman, and this movie fucking blew it out of the
Yeah,
water.
it kind of destroyed.
It was
Batman
actually
vs.
kind of
Superman.
funny. Batman vs Superman was supposed to come out the same weekend as this, and then they moved it 2
Seriously?
months beforehand. Yeah, it was supposed to come
So
out
they
the
could say,
same
well, ours came
weekend.
out first.
Um,
I like DC.
and they must have watched it and been like, this is gonna ruin this. We're not gonna make any money if we release it
It was
that
just
weekend.
bad.
So yeah, it just showed how bad that movie was in comparison to this one. In my opinion, I still enjoy
Sorry,
the
DC.
ultimate cut of Batman vs Superman. That's all right, but this just showed so many of the strengths of the MCU in one movie, and that's why it's my number one. Really, I think it is a generally faultless MCU movie. The only fault I have with it is that
There's no Hulk
Baron
and no
Zemo.
Thor.
Baron Zemo is not that great as a villain.
No.
Like he's
But I
like
think
kind of
it's-
sidelined a little
That's
bit.
why I think it's
He
kind of
honestly
good,
didn't
'cause
even
it-
need to be in it.
No,
in
I
my
think it's
opinion.
kind
Why
of
do you
good
need
because
a
it's like,
villain
yeah,
if
like they
they
had
fight
them
each other?
because
Exactly.
he was kind of like setting off like the spark of
of
like
the
fighting.
war.
It's like they needed a reason to like really start like fighting. Like Cap was trying to like protect like Bucky, and so then they all kind of
Yeah, and he and Bucky were both trying to stop this guy from bringing back a whole group of Winter
Yeah.
Soldiers.
but it didn't look good on them.
Yeah, but since they were doing that
And then you
not,
find out some shit that happened.
yeah, and not going by what the government was saying, they were war criminals. So Tony's trying to stop them while they're trying to stop this other guy.
Tony doesn't like
So
know
they got
what
2
they're
people
trying
on their
to do.
backs. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he thinks they're like plotting against him. Tony thinks
He thinks they're just kind of being like, no, like we're not fucking doing this. And he's like, you guys are literally going to be like hunted down by people that aren't your friends.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
so that's why I get where Tony's coming from in this movie.
So he still kind of like does like them.
Oh,
yeah. It's not like he wanted to kill anybody or anything.
Does anyone die in it?
Rhodey
You
gets
can
very
say
close to
no
death.
spoiler.
Rhodey gets paralyzed.
People thought that Rhodey was going to die.
Yeah, but he ends up getting paralyzed.
Because he actually, spoiler alert for Civil War II from the comics, his death sparks Civil War II.
And people thought that Cap would because doesn't he get killed?
Yeah,
in
he
Civil War
dies
in
at the end of the Civil War in the comics. He's being...
People thought that's when Bucky's
in the comics, he turns himself in at the end. It's a very similar kind of deal. It's like the government's trying to bring superheroes in check. And he turns himself in and he's going to his hearing at Capitol Hill and he gets shot and killed by Agent 13, who is brainwashed by
I was going to say, because
Skull.
isn't that Peggy Carter's like niece? No.
And so he
niece.
died for a little bit there.
For a little bit.
And then Bucky took over.
Just
So I think that in Infinity War, he's sadly going to probably die too, and Bucky's then going to take over.
I think so. I have a friend who really doesn't want that to happen.
Nobody wants to happen.
But like everyone knows that it's going to happen. So it's like, all right, we know it's going to happen, so we just have to prepare ourselves for it to be soon. Because he's not signed on for nearly as many movies as Sebastian Stan. Because they know.
Who's Bucky?
Avengers 4 is his last movie. I don't think he's going to die in this one. He's probably going to die in Avengers 4.
Yeah.
4? Holy balls.
God,
and
they have so many movies planned out.
So Stan Lee plays the FedEx man at the end who wants to talk to Tony Stank.
Yeah.
And
Rhodey's like doing his PT and thinks it's hilarious. All right, I liked it. I didn't disagree too much. I think every single one of them needed more Hawkeye, but that's all.
All right. Well, I mean, what are your favorite MCU movies?
I could not name all 18 right
now. No. I mean, like, what's your number one? That's what I'm asking.
Honestly, I don't think I could choose like a number one. I could give you like a group of like they would be.
Sure.
Okay, Avery, please don't laugh at me.
No, I thought of something so funny.
Go ahead, tell me.
I'm just gonna be like, when you guys asked me, I would just be like,
Boss Baby?
X-Men. And then I laughed at myself.
They're
coming soon.
A Fan 4 stick.
Fantastic Four.
The remake.
Yes.
No, like Thor Ragnarok up there, Spider-Man Homecoming, and I really love the first Avengers movie.
Yeah, they're
but Thor Ragnarok, literally, it, like, oh my god, I was dying of Black Panther too. But, like, for comedy, Thor Ragnarok was the funniest. It was just a comedy movie. It doesn't have to be considered, like, action. It was so fucking funny.
Yeah.
I, like, cried from laughing so hard. Shout out.
It is so good.
Shout out to Clark.
All right. It's late here, so we're going to sign off. Ow.
Power Rangers should have been the number one, but whatever.
Avery,
I'm a White Ranger. I took the quiz. Sorry.
You're the White Ranger?
Yes.
Nice. I always get Red Ranger.
I know.
And
you always get like Bill, and you always get the leader in the group. Like you don't have to do it. I know. You just you don't have to
I get the face in the wall.
Take the quiz every time.
Whatever his name is.
What?
I'm the face in the wall.
Zordon?
I'm Zordon.
Face in the wall.
You're more of a pink Power Ranger, in my opinion.
No.
Whatever.
No thanks.
So Avery, when you come back to the show, hopefully sometime
she'll have
in
a list
June,
her.
Yes.
It'll be Avery's turn.
Top 10 moments in Boss Baby. Just the movie, the TV
Baby,
show.
Jesus
We'll talk about another time.
It's actually going to be top 10 reasons why
Boss Baby should have won an Oscar.
Oh, I had a joke. I forgot it.
No.
Oh God! All right, so look forward to that.
If you cry every time.
In June, maybe by
you
then.
best be looking
Like
forward
just
to it.
if you cry every time.
You'll probably forget, and then it'll come back.
Then we're gonna be like, remember Avery? Everyone's gonna be like, no, and then you're gonna be like,
yeah, man.
June 2nd.
Oh, it's
That's
the day
not his
before my
birthday.
birthday.
I said a day before your birthday.
I thought you were naming his birthday, and I was like, that's
No.
So hopefully, oh wow, when we record next week's episode, we will have seen Avengers: Infinity War.
That reminds me,
We'll probably give a little bit of a review, tell our opinions
what I'm
on
doing
it.
for next week's episode.
Oh
I
jeez.
forgot it was my turn because I did 2 weeks in a row and I got exhausted.
I know.
I got exhausted.
Oh my god.
It's been
Thank you
fun.
for listening to this episode. If you enjoyed it, be sure to tell your friends. Leave us a little review. What are you doing?
Hail Hydra.
Okay.
Here's looking to you, kid.
And follow us on Twitter at 10for10pod. Be sure to email us at 10for10pod@gmail.com if you want to tell us like kind of a list that you like
think?
or you'd like us to do or your
Tell us
opinions
your
on the list
feelings.
or whatever, and we'll read them out if we ever get any. Sorry, that was bad. And be
Just
sure
reminded me
to...
of the skin. I nurture my skin. I don't know why.
No, I was doing like that one clip of like a girl who's calling someone and she's really upset. She's like, I just want to let you know that I love
just
you
to keep restarting.
and I miss you. And like us on Facebook, 10for10 podcast on there.
It's free real estate.
All right, I think that's it for this episode.
You have been stopped. The episode has been stopped.
The episode has been stopped.
Goodbye.
I love my fans.
Avery, is there anywhere people can find you? Do you have any like
Tweets?
online presence you want us to know about, or are you
Do you
good
want anyone
for now?
to tweet you?
I'm
you have, like,
good for
Twitter?
now. When I'm famous, you guys can, and you'll be like, yo, I knew that bitch like way back when.
Okay.
So that's all. I don't know if I'll still be friends with you
She will
two,
be.
but yeah, no, I will. But okay, bye.
All right. Thank you, Jess.
Thanks.
Bye.
The one next door. Oh my god, he's so fabulous. He's wearing the gold pants.
Audra McDonald that we watched in.
But this is like, I'm saying like
Wonderful.
he's like maybe like 20.
Oh.
He's young. Not that young, mid-20s. But like he's wearing like gold pants, button up like black shirt. Like, oh my god, he's fabulous.
Yeah, he was doing something with Audra McDonald.
Yeah,
from
just right
Carousel,
before we
and
started,
they
I just want to
literally
show her what he looked like
They
in this.
literally
That's all.
started making out before, like
Hi,
after.
Jackman, no.
And like it was kind of gross. Like Audra McDonald and Hugh Jackman making out.
Boy from,
after
yeah, it's
some-
called Boy from
It was
Oz.
so weird.
Oh no, he's wearing a cheetah shirt. This was at
Allen
the,
was not only my friend,
oh,
he
2014,
was
so
my
it wasn't that
writing
long.
partner for 10 Assembles people. As you'll see, my favorite.
Is this him?
That's him riding in on a fucking camel at the
Ow.
Tonys. And he's just very fabulous.